Edmonton Sports Talk. My God, I loved it.
My name's Jay Milne. Hashtag Blue.
Our sports update deliverer, the Coon.
I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up today.
You know what, Reid?
You might be on this.
All right, here's what's going on in the nest.
Okay, well, the news is not great concerning Edmonton Oilers winger Zach Hyman. He's been getting over that dislocated wrist he suffered in late May against the Dallas Stars in the West Final. Here's Oilers head coach Kris Knoblauch with the update today.
So Zach unfortunately won't be able to join us for our home opener. We're thinking, guideline probably around November 1st, so maybe a little bit earlier, maybe a little bit later, but around that timeline.
Okay, so that's one of the big news points from the Oilers' first on-ice day at training camp. Jay, we knew Hyman wasn't going to be out there today. He talked yesterday about having 2-week blocks. Well, this is a lot longer than 2 weeks. 2 weeks, I mean, basically 6 weeks is what Kris Knoblauch is saying for Hyman's expected return. So November 1st is the target to get Hyman back.
Well, and let's not look past last year when a lot of these projections that were given, the injury went a lot longer than that. I hope that's not the case here for Oilers fans. But look, this is something that happened back in May. We looked into it. Yeah, it was dislocated wrist with ligament damage. Right. Was still wearing a brace, a removable cast at the orientation camp in Calgary. That was not a positive sign for something that happened in May. So, yeah, this is a big story because that's 12 games of the season right there. If you're going to October 1st, that Zach Hyman's going to be out. And who fills that void?
Yeah.
It didn't go so well for the Oilers in the playoffs. As soon as he went out, they lost a major part of that team.
Yeah. That'd be 12 games. If he doesn't play a regular season game until November 1st, which would be at home against the Chicago Blackhawks, that's losing him for 12 games. So, of course you can survive, and they played a bunch of games without him last year, and they played in the Stanley Cup final without him. But this is another big loss. And now I think, well, let me ask you this. Are we now into the territory of how long does it take him to get back up to speed once he does play?
Well, I believe with an upper body injury like this, at least your legs can get going and you can keep that part of your game moving forward. He has been skating. He's just not skating in any contact. So I don't know if it'll take him as long to get that back. The hands probably might take a week or two to get back, but at least the legs will still be there. At least the conditioning will be there. But this is a pretty big loss to have, and coming out and saying it right away, Reid. Is that surprising to you?
A little bit that they're already.
This didn't have to be said today.
Yeah, that they're already giving. Yes, this much of leeway. Like I wouldn't have been surprised if he would have said it doesn't look good for Zach for the first couple games of the season, and then we'll see. Even if they knew it was going to be longer, but to come out now, basically, like they're basically saying he's out another 6 weeks, right?
Yep.
If you look at what happens, or if you look at what's being said, so that's one of the big headlines from the start of Oilers on ice training camp. Zach Hyman. Now, I guess Knoblauch, well, it's a short clip, so let's play it again.
So Zach unfortunately won't be able to join us for our home opener. We're thinking, guideline probably around November 1st, so maybe a little bit earlier, maybe a little bit later, but around that timeline.
Okay, well, maybe a little bit earlier. So he's going to miss several games. Probably at least 10% of the season, right?
Yeah.
If you're looking at even if he came back a little bit earlier. So that's a big one today from Oilers training camp. Connor McDavid did speak. We'll get to some of those comments. Well, I might as well just play the clip that everybody's going to be wondering about. What did he say about the contract? Well, he didn't say very much.
Yeah, not really much to report. Obviously we think about it, we talk about it, gauge where we're at, what we're feeling. Nothing's really changed as of now, and just excited to be here at camp and get rolling. It's always an exciting time for us and for the rest of the league, and we're excited.
Okay, he's excited. Get training camp rolling. What else is he going to add? Well, I guess he could add whatever he wanted, but I don't think he was going to come out and say, "Oh, did they not announce it?" Oh, I thought.
Wait, you didn't see this?
I just signed. So we continue to wait for there are some other storylines with McDavid today, and Stuart Skinner spoke as well. We'll talk a little bit about Skinner's quote unquote weight loss. I did see some stuff on Twitter yesterday that he'd lost 25 pounds from last year. It's more like 15, which he clarified. But both McDavid and Skinner spoke about a fairly upbeat vibe around the team this year.
Yes.
I think they came back to training camp last season, probably still a little downbeat from losing the Stanley Cup final. They did lose the Stanley Cup final again. There are some new faces on the team. There are some new players who will have an opportunity to be on the team and or contribute. I mean, Mangiapane obviously is going to be on the team, and hopefully he's going to contribute. But now with no Hyman for maybe a month, that opens the door a little wider for whether it's Savoy or Howard or even Tomasek, who was on McDavid's line today, which was pretty interesting. McDavid between Mangiapane and Tomasek. Nugent Hopkins at center with Henrik and Savoy. So that's something to keep an eye on. Maybe moving into the first couple of preseason games, we'll see how players gets used, but there's some opportunity there. But we'll dive into these. We're going to do the Oil Understood at 3:20 and really look at these McDavid clips a little bit closer. And maybe, Jay, they give us some insight into how McDavid, they reference, or Stan Bowman referenced yesterday that he has dialogue with Stan Bowman. I'm going to speculate a little bit on maybe what some of that dialogue involves and look back on the last couple of years with the Oilers.
Sure.
Okay? But we'll do that in the Oil Understood. Scott Thompson in the Nasty Chat, which is one of many ways you can communicate with us and with each other. That's the chat function going down the right-hand side of the stream on YouTube. Also, if you are on YouTube, don't forget, give us a like. Click that thumbs up.
Click, click, click. Must you click? Please, please click. Must you click? You must click. Thumb, thumb, thumb.
I heard that earlier.
Popular song. Scott says, at what point does this question and answer piss McDavid off? And when does the fan base also get annoyed with this Captain Serious routine? Sure, he's earned the right, but this is a big distraction. That's an interesting question. I think McDavid knows if he stands in a scrum, he's going to be asked something about the contract. I wasn't able to go today because I was here on the hangout earlier. Tom wound up going down. And the question about his contract wasn't asked until the end of about a 6-minute scrum. I mean, he got asked about some new line mates, the vibe around the team. We're going to play some of those clips. And then, it has to be asked. And I think he knows it has to be asked. If it pisses him off or he's annoyed by it, well, welcome to being the captain of an NHL team in Edmonton.
Can I ask you something about that?
Yes.
Would let's say you're part of this scrum.
Yeah.
Would the 6, 8, 10 of you, however many of you are there waiting for Connor McDavid, he's coming out. Would anybody speak up and say, hey, let's leave that till the end. Let's get some pertinent camp-related questions going first.
I don't know if that happened today. Conversations like that will happen.
Okay.
Where it's like, okay, this is ongoing, but let's do some other stuff first. Let's not throw all the same old questions at him. Maybe get him in a bad mood or get him in the mood to just give short answers and get out of there.
Right.
You heard it today. He was pretty good today.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
And there was some concrete stuff from McDavid. I guess about the contract, he has nothing else to say. We played some of those clips from the interview with Friedman and Bukakis yesterday, And off we go. And then Scott also said, when does the fan base get annoyed with this Captain Serious routine? Well, Scott, you're asking your fellow fans in the nasty chat, so hopefully people will reply to you. I don't know. I mean, we've heard a lot of we hear from a lot of nervous people. We hear from a lot of people, why isn't this done yet? I mean, here's basically what I think we've been hearing. Why isn't this done yet? We've heard a lot of Bowman and Jackson are idiots and they're going to lose McDavid. We've heard some of that. Well, we've heard everybody.
Yeah, but you've heard if McDavid doesn't, then right. Why is Jeff Jackson even here?
Right.
Why was he a part of why was he brought into this organization?
There's a previous relationship there.
Yeah.
So Scott's saying, when does the fan base get annoyed with the Captain Serious routine? I don't know. You'll have to tell us.
Well, probably when he goes out in the first game and scores two goals and sets three up.
Forgot about it?
Well, that's professional sports. Yeah, that happens.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't get the sense fans are annoyed by it. Just that they're nervous about it.
Yeah.
And they want a resolution. They want to know an outstanding player is going to be on the team they cheer for several years beyond this one. We can't say that for sure until some sort of an extension is signed. But that's an interesting question there by Scott. But yeah, the part about at what point does he get annoyed with the questions? Well, there'd be an easy way to keep being stopped to stop being asked about it.
Well, yeah, that's what Les Sweet has to say. Yeah. As long as he keeps the issue in limbo, he doesn't have a right to get annoyed by the question.
Right. Yeah.
And that's kind of how it works.
Yeah. Like if I promise you every day I'm going to bring you the $20 I owe you.
Yeah.
And every day I don't. It ain't your fault if you ask for it every day when I walk into work. And by the way, I'll have it probably next Tuesday.
You better.
Yeah. All right. 780-218-9999 is how you can text us. That is the afternoon inbox presented by River Cree Resort and Casino, home of the kitchen restaurant, Sundays and Mondays, 50% off the entire menu, available Sundays and Mondays, 5 p.m. until close. You can also email reid@edmontonsportstalk.com, j@edmontonsportstalk.com. And of course, it is time for your afternoon headlines. They are presented by 100.3 The Bear, Edmonton's best rock. Stream them on iHeart today. With your afternoon headlines presented by The Bear, it's Chet Palmer.
This is Chet Palmer with your sports report. Well, they say dolphins are one of the world's most intelligent animals, but these duds in Miami look like they couldn't put two and two together to get a win. Watch out, Tua. The Bills are going to take all those letters in your last name and shake them all around. Hey, if you know an Oilers fan, you may want to give him a pick-me-up. Not only does super-duper star Connor McDavid not have an extension, now hard-working Zach Hyman is out until November 1. Hope that wrist heals, Zach. We need you digging in those corners ASAP. And will our boys be the nail in the hammer on Saturday? The Elks sure could use a win against those Tabbies. Come on, let's kill them, Mark. I'm Chet Palmer.
It's Chet Palmer dropping in to be the sports.
I like Chet Palmer.
You like that?
I like Chet Palmer.
Yeah, he works one day a week. He's got it pretty easy here.
Well, no, I believe he's...
is he going to start showing up more?
I think he's going to have to work 5 days a week with the headlines for the Bear.
He might run out of material pretty soon.
Well, you know, it's... there's lots of things going on. I'm sure if anybody can come up with the headlines for 100.3 The Bear, it's Chet Palmer.
Well, very experienced reporter.
Very experienced.
He's been around.
Yes.
CFL, NFL, hockey, probably all your amateur sports you want to cover. He knows his stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And he's got a nice fedora. All right, 780-218-9999 is the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. Quickly here, fun earlier today. So these drafts, they started at 1260. I was not a part of that. They're a big deal to some people here. So I was in the draft today on the Hangout from 9 to 11, and it was the nerd draft.
Mm-hmm.
And you helped me. You were a very valuable source of advice and guidance. And probably the pick that I don't know if I'm most proud of, is that this was my, I'm going to play this for the second time. This was my selection for a nerd saying, something that a nerd says.
Click, click, click. Must you click? Please, please click. Must you click? You must click.
So
Thumb,
it
thumb, thumb.
was pretty cool to draft something off my own show.
Yeah, that is neat.
That was pretty good. You definitely helped me with some of the names. You gave me this is the advice you gave me. You said, Dustin likes Back to the Future. He said, you got to fire, you didn't put it exactly this way, but you basically said you got to fire a shot across his bow.
Yeah. Get him a little rattled.
Early on. And you said you have to take Biff, what's his name? Biff Tannen?
Biff Tannen.
The bully from the Back to the Future movies. You said you got to take him high. And I said, I'll take him in the first round.
Well, I do know from prior experience that Back to the Future plays well with those voting. So A, you have that on your side.
Right.
B, I felt like that category was quite thin, which it proved to be. And C, you're kind of, toying with Dusty a little bit there. But I have some things I want to say about the draft. I was listening to it, watching it at home with my wife. We consumed it on YouTube. And there were some things said that I will address. I will address that during buying or selling coming up at 5 o'clock, buying of selling, of course, for Damon Bunting Real Estate. But, there were some things said that were a little hurtful to me, and I want to address it.
All right. Well, I hope you're not too hurt. I hope I didn't say them.
It was not said by you.
Yeah. Well, I have nothing bad to say about you.
Could have you said something? Possibly.
Yeah, sure. But I mean, I'm overall quite apathetic about these drafts.
Right.
I do it for fun.
Yes.
I do it for fun. I do it to be part of the team. I do it because it's somewhat expected that I would do it. I just want to, part of the fun for me is picking something that I just like.
Right.
For example, taking George Lucas and Rivers Cuomo in the non-fictional as non-fictional nerds. I could have taken Mark Zuckerberg or Steve Jobs or Elon Musk.
I didn't
None of those
hear
guys got picked.
The Rivers Cuomo pick. How did it, what was the reaction in the room?
I have no idea what the reaction was. I don't know if people know who he is, but if
with the people you were drafting with,
I don't. Well, then Tom said something like, "Well, Weezer's not as good as the Killers." I was like, "Actually, they're better than the Killers. They're more relevant, and they're not living off one song recorded 20 years ago." And I checked; they've sold more albums, 35 million to 28 million.
Weezer sold more than the Killers.
Oh, of course. That wouldn't have even been
this
a
Killers thing.
debate
Tom might have to just stuff that under a carpet.
Well, it's fine. He likes them, but
it's okay to love a band. I love Metallica. But I'm not going to say that they're bigger than Taylor Swift.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm realistic.
Yeah. Rivers Cuomo is the lead singer of Weezer. He looks like a nerd.
Well,
he looks like Buddy Holly.
What did
looks
Dusty draft first?
Yeah.
Coke bottle glasses.
Right.
That's what Rivers Cuomo
wears.
wears.
What he kind of looks like. And George Lucas, I mean.
Well, yeah.
Sure, he's a kabillionaire, but doesn't mean... Yeah, you can't be a nerdy filmmaker,
and he kind of fits the role, to be honest with you.
Yeah. So anyway, it was a lot of fun. We got the vote going through the Edmonton Sports Talk Twitter account and on Instagram. Also today in the office, Matt Cassian came in for Two Guys and a Goalie. We love seeing him in person, and he brought chips and dip.
Oh,
but not like Ripple chips. Well, you describe what he brought.
Well, he brought queso. Homemade queso, a cheese dip that he had his own homemade chorizo, spices. I think there was some vegetables in it. This was a grade A queso. This is something, if it's at a Super Bowl party, it's gone first.
Okay.
It's very good.
Yeah, people keep hovering back to
exactly.
Yeah.
And the quality of chips that he brought in, tortilla chips, was exceptional.
Yeah.
Everything was perfect. So we were sitting he brought a whole bowl in, and we were having some in the bullpen. And I said, "Did you make this?" He said, "Yes, but I'm not telling you how I did it."
Yeah.
And I said, "Okay, I respect that. Some people are, they want to keep that to themselves, their secret recipe." But that kind of, I guess, gave birth to our William Huff off-topic topic, did it not?
William Huff, since 1952, William Huff has provided industry-leading advertising solutions for thousands of valued clients. Their unparalleled customer service, combined with decades of industry expertise and a desire to make every job the very best it can be is what they call the William Huff Advantage. Visit their website at williamhuff.com or give them a shout, 780-454-4536. I believe when they started up in 1952, the first thing they ever sponsored was one of Chet Palmer's sportscasts. But
that's where his first break came
for
from.
another day.
Wow.
So our off-topic topic is, what's a show-stopping party dish? What's your and maybe something you'd be reluctant to share the recipe for, as Cass,
right?
But I mean, it's weird. We're asking for a dish, so it's optional whether or not you share the recipe. But you could say, "Hey, I make this, and I'll never tell what's in it." So, what is your party show-stopping dish that you'd prefer to keep the ingredients a secret to? Because I said to Cass, I wasn't eating it, and then he finished 2 guys and a goalie. And I said, hey, what's in that? He's like, never tell you.
Really?
And I said, I just need to know if there's possibly anything. Like, I thought there probably wasn't, but I always ask because I've been burned.
Yes.
You, as of you,
yep.
Where you think, oh, there's no way anybody would put nuts in that.
Yeah, I went right in.
Yeah, but I said anything like peanutty, nutty. He's like, no. He's like, you're good. He goes, I forgot about he remembered. Or he's like, oh, yeah, you got the allergy. You can for sure eat this. So, but when that's how this came. I said, he's like, no, I'm not going to tell you. Can't tell you what's in it.
And you got to, fine. That's just fine. But it was good.
Yeah, excellent.
Cass should know that this would make the list. This is what we want to have people suggest.
Right.
Because if Cass brought this to any party, it doesn't matter if it's a book party, a book club, or the Super Bowl party, it's getting eaten.
That's a good point. It's an all occasions dish.
Yes.
It's not one of those, well, I really wouldn't put this out at Jablonski's kindergarten grad.
Right.
Yeah. Jablonski, quit double dipping. One dip. Dip it once and then eat it. That actually happened. That actually was a Seinfeld.
It was. Yeah. Did you just double dip?
Yeah.
I got 2 answers for this. One is in more of a potluck setting, and one is in more of a party setting. So my potluck answer for a showstopper is I've got a really good cold potato salad recipe. That is it's like a dill potato salad.
Right.
Lovely. And then for something grab and go, I make a really good shrimp avocado toast.
Oh, neat.
It's like a baguette with homemade guac and Cajun shrimp.
You mean avocado?
Avocado. Topped with a Cajun shrimp. It's a showstopper. It goes.
That sounds pretty good.
What do you got?
I would have to pick an artichoke dip I make, which is actually quite simple, and it's based on a recipe, but I sort of mess with the recipe a little bit.
Really?
Yeah.
That was not something I was expecting.
Well, what were you expecting?
I don't know. Like a dip for sure, but that's an intense dip.
Well, thank you.
Can you make some for us?
I'm an intense man. Yes, I could make some for you.
I would love that
for us.
Well, bring it in for the Coop standing over there. Like, hey,
Coop's like, may I have some dip, sir? I'm hungry. Coop.
Okay, so this is a what dip? Artichoke dip.
Artichoke.
So, okay, yes, like a spinach artichoke, or do you just skip the spinach and just make it an artichoke?
It's artichoke.
Artichoke?
Yeah, is that okay?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I love artichoke dips.
All right, so the off-topic topic, what's a party show-stopping dish, and maybe one you might be reluctant to share the recipe for because you want to keep it a secret and always be the life of the party, so to speak. Oil Understood coming up. You're going to hear from McDavid and Stuart Skinner and head coach Kris Knoblauch as well. Here's a sports update with Zachary Kubish.
Edmonton, Zach Hyman is out until at least November, according to Oilers head coach Kris Knoblauch. That timeline means Hyman will miss at least 12 games in 6 weeks of action as he continues to recover from a wrist injury he sustained in playoffs. Down south, for the second straight day, the Vikings listed quarterback J.J. McCarthy on the injured report as he did not practice. Carson Wentz is slated to start Sunday's game against the Bengals. While in baseball, Clayton Kershaw of the Dodgers will retire after the season. The 37-year-old winning 3 Cy Young Awards in his career. And 5 games are wrapped up. 1 game underway. Marlins up 7-3 over the Rockies in the 9th inning. Thursday night football action. It's the Bills and Dolphins kicking off at 6:15. Buffalo leading the AFC East 2-0 on the season, while Miami swims at the bottom of the division, winless so far. Swing by Sally's Sports Bar and Lounge at Center Casino on Fort Road for the action. Lieutenant Eric is down there every Monday and Thursday night. The Reid Wilkins Show returns after the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
2 guys and a goalie.
The thought I had this morning is, what if he is making this we'll call it a political decision to have eyes on him, not falling on a sword, but carrying a shield, as it were. Because if everyone's asking questions about him, guess what they're not asking about? Guess who hasn't been swamped with stuff heading into the season? Stuart Skinner, Darnell Nurse, Evan Bouchard.
2 guys and a goalie, presented by GS Construction. Tuesday and Thursday afternoons at noon, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Win big this NFL season at the Canadian Brewhouse, presented by Bud Light. You could win a trip to Super Bowl 60, plus prizes like smokers, Bud Light coolers, and a trip to an NFL home opener next season. Enjoy $1 off Bud Light and Budweiser tankers. Details at thecanadianbrewhouse.com.
GCL Diesel has been serving oil country since 1972. From diesel cars to SUVs to pickups. From farm tractors to school buses to a big rig. From diesel generators to forklifts, GCL can test, troubleshoot, and repair all diesel fuel system components. Whether it's injectors, pumps, turbos, filters, or additive, GCL has the parts you need to keep your diesel running the way it should. For genuine diesel parts at wholesale prices, visit GCL Diesel in the West End or online at GCLDiesel.com. GCL Diesel. Diesel understood.
The leaves are turning, and just like golf season, time is running out to get in on Play Alberta's biggest offer ever. For a limited time only, new players can get up to a $1,000 casino bonus when they sign up. There's never been a better time to join the fun. Visit playalberta.ca today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. Remember, if you gamble, please use your game sense.
Fall football in your living room just became the Fan Zone. Before you move in the giant screen, make space to cheer on your favorite team with Sentinel Storage. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca.
All right, Elks in Hamilton on Saturday. That's a 5 o'clock game. We will have the Green and Gold kickoff show with Jason Milne and Matthew Awanek at 4 o'clock on Saturday here on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. And then they'll be on after the game for the Green and Gold post-game show as well. Oilers preseason games on Sunday, split squad. So some guys in Calgary, some guys here at Rogers Place hosting the Flames. And what else? Thursday night football tonight. You'll have something for Play Alberta, Jays Play the Day for Play Alberta in a few minutes.
You know it.
I'm curious to see where you'll go with that. Oil Kings in Red Deer tomorrow. Home opener Saturday at 4 against Red Deer. We had Jason Smith on the show yesterday, head coach of the Oil Kings. Great to talk to him. Kevin Radomski, Oil Kings Director of Business Operations, was on EST Afternoons with Hernan and Gager. And we're going to give away couple of tickets to the game. Why not?
Why?
We'll do it. We'll do it later. You will, as usually is the procedure here.
We'll do it live.
The Reid Wilkins Show with Jason. We will do it live, and you'll have to answer trivia. It'll be a text in. Jay will keep an eye out for the right answer, and we'll give you a pair of tickets to see the Oil Kings play. And you can stick around after the game for the Taylor Swift tribute artist.
Do you have a trivia question already?
Oh yeah, darn tootin' I do.
Okay.
I think it's the one I brought up last week, but I'll give you the answer.
Oh, okay.
I think you know the answer.
One time we should do a trivia question where nobody would know the answer.
Not even you, and I don't even tell you?
No. But it's something, what is Jay's favorite classic car? I know what that is.
Well,
I can tell you, but people would have to guess.
A Firebird?
No.
A Porsche?
No.
A Lamborghini?
No. It's very specific. Keep going.
A Chevrolet Impala.
Ooh. Right. It's
a Chevrolet.
Right manufacturer.
Is it a sports car?
I believe it's Chevrolet.
Is it still being produced?
I don't know. I don't think so. This is 1 year of a Chevrolet.
It was a specific year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know cars well enough. Coob seems to want to answer.
I was going to say Dodge Viper, but
nope.
It's not the one.
Not a Chevrolet.
That's not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's 1976.
SS Coupe.
No.
Why would you like this particular type of car?
It's a 76.
Is it a convertible?
Could be T-tops,
but
not a convertible. Corvette Stingray.
Oh, so it is. That's a sports car, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Did I say no? Sorry.
No, I think maybe you didn't answer. I think we just talked over each other and we're so excited to just be in the same room. And then one time I was talking to Jay and he said he liked this car and I didn't know what year, but he already told me the year and I didn't know that he told me the year because I was so excited and I was talking. Okay. Well, that's cool. Did you ever own this car?
No, but they are still being made. The brand new Corvette Stingrays are available. I just liked the body shape. It looked pretty, and it had those circular rear taillights. Well, I guess they would.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Presumed to be rear if I said taillights.
Good point.
Fair point.
Yeah, I guess that was extraneous information. That's all right. Okay, give us the thumbs up if you're taking us in on YouTube. We want to get to at least 100. We soared past that plateau yesterday. We already have 37 thumbs in the first half hour of the show. So don't be a pleasure delayer, though. Get in there and click. Give us the thumbs up. Let's see how high we can get to today. And also, let's go into the oil understood for GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around, from turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors. They are the critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years, and now a partner of Edmonton Sports Talk and the Reid Wilkins Show. GCL Diesel. Diesel! Understood. Beautiful work. So, again, one of the headlines from the Oilers today, Zach Hyman, according to Kris Knoblauch, they are targeting November 1st as a return for Hyman. That has him missing 12 regular season games. So we will keep an eye on that. But not great news there for your Edmonton Oilers. So we played the clip for McDavid. Nothing really new to say about the contract. There were a couple things that stuck out to me. Well, and to you, Jay, because we were listening to this together. And then we were thinking, okay, we gotta discuss this for the Oil Understood for GCL Diesel. First of all, McDavid with a little bit here on just the feeling in the group and today's practice.
I think it's motivation. I think it's excitement. I think it's a little bit of new blood, young blood, which is exciting to have. Bring some energy to the rink every day. So, truthfully, I thought that was the best practice we've had in a long time. So, it was exciting, fun to be out there, high pace, competitive. Thought it was the best practice we've had in a long time.
Okay. Wow. Right. So I think your jaw was dropping there, and you'd heard that before.
Yeah.
And you were hearing it again and processing it even further. I'm guessing. So before I get into some of the other things, this is the best practice we've had in a long time.
On the first practice of the year.
In training camp. And he wasn't even in Leon's group. It wasn't the team. Like, there were guys practicing. You've seen the post on social media. I mean, I read part of the lineup. Basically, about half the guys he was practicing today will not even be in the NHL. And most of those half, they already know that. They don't have a chance. So he's saying that's the best practice we've had in a long time. And then he went back to it and said it's the best practice we've had in a long time. So they haven't practiced since the Stanley Cup final in June. And even in the playoffs, as you know, Jay, a lot of it is not full practices in the playoffs. It's like, you know what? At this point of the season, you're better off resting, or go up there and spin around, skate around for 10 minutes,
test your edges,
get your blood going, and come back in. So did that not strike anybody else? I want to know from the listeners today as well. This is the best practice we've had in a long time. Like, it makes it sound like that their practices just must have sucked last year. Or we're missing some sort of
something or some flow. But here's the thing. This is the first year that we see Coach Knoblauch with his coaching staff. Right?
Like his selected
guys. Yes. When he came in here, he was rolling with people that were here, that stayed. He was the only person that came in.
Well, coffee, I guess.
Sure,
but that was an unusual situation.
But that was still something that he obviously wouldn't have had
pick him necessarily
on his bench.
Right.
The head coach and his coaching staff put together the practice plan. So for Connor McDavid to say that speaks volumes about the new staff that Kris Knoblauch has assembled, in my opinion. Because those are the guys that put it together, put the pace of play together, how it's structured. Is there how much downtime? How much flow is there? Where are we going? How organized is it? And it seems like they're getting passing marks right off the bat.
Right.
That's what that says to me, Reid, is that maybe Knoblauch didn't have the full, I guess, ability to take over practice and run it the way he fully wanted to. And now with his guys that he's hand chosen to have behind the bench, this is what a real practice looks like. Now, I don't know what last year's practices looked like. You see them, but you know what I mean? Like that detailed part from Connor McDavid's point of view. But that's a very positive thing to have your captain, who, by the way, is the best hockey player in the world,
right,
saying that this is the best practice they've had in a long, long time.
Yeah. So that was okay. And he also talked about it's good to have some young blood on the ice, and he talked about just having good energy. So, Tomasek was out there. Tomasek was on his wing. Savoy's trying to make the team. Howard's trying to make the team. All that type of stuff. So that was a very interesting clip to me. And then here's another one that sort of talks about some things from last. Well, I'll just get to it. Some things from last season and more.
I thought at times last year it was a little stale, and you can have that with older teams that are kind of have one eye and looking ahead to the playoffs. So you can have some monotonous days, and I felt that last year. So having some new faces in here, some young blood, as I said, playing with new guys, it can be exciting. A new project, something to work on and build on. And with that being said, we know that we can always go back to the old things, playing with Leo or playing with Nuge or whatever it is. We always have those things to go back on, and but it's exciting to try to build something with some other guys.
Okay, so he references there. Let's try new line combinations. Let's see how it's going. We can go back to me and Leon. We don't need to be together on day one of training camp. Well, he's kind of saying that at the end. Fair enough. And of course, you want to see how these young guys do. But again, he said last year we got a little stale, right? Will you allow me to speculate a little bit?
I'd love for you to speculate.
May I be granted the opportunity to speculate? By the audience as well.
Permission granted.
May I be granted the horn of speculation? Because Stan Bowman said that he has a dialogue with McDavid. McDavid has questions about this year's team, about the future. They didn't dive into anything, okay? So last year, as the playoffs went on, there were some players who weren't overly effective against Florida. I mean, Florida kind of dominated the series. I think Florida was playing great. And so I'm not bringing this up to point the finger at these players, but there were some players who were pretty key contributors in the 2024 run to the Stanley Cup that were quieter in the run to the final in 25. I'll pick three of them, and I'm not bringing this up for scapegoating purposes. I'm just bringing this up as an example. Okay, so you had Matthias Janmark, Connor Brown, and Adam Henrique form a really effective depth forward line in the 2024 playoffs and be part of a historically good playoff penalty kill, including scoring shorthanded goals, right? And then they all got new contracts, right? And now Connor Brown has moved on, and now Adam Henrique, had a decent goal total last season, but maybe looked a little slower, overmatched at times. And I like Matthias Janmark. I think he does important things on the team. But you can also argue there are depth players on other teams who could do that or maybe do it differently or even in some cases better or score more. So what if some of Connor McDavid's thinking or things he brings up to Stan Bowman is saying, Stan, you pick the players. Okay, like you pick the players. I'm not trying to run the team. I don't want to be a GM. I want you to do it. But my observations through 10 years in the NHL is that you need some speedy, energetic, enthusiastic youth. And that maybe we over-rewarded the guys who helped in 2024. Like maybe he's saying to Stan Bowman, Stan, even if we have a really good season and there's a 33-year-old guy who busted his ass and played awesome in the playoffs, but deep down we know he's near the end, can you walk away from that guy so the 23-year-old can be in that spot next year? And I brought this up in the bullpen earlier, and Matt Cassian was here. And I said, okay, here's a hypothetical. Here's a hypothetical. Last summer, they still signed Arvidsson and Jeff Skinner, okay? But it was still Jackson at the time, says, okay, Janmark, you're good, but I think I can maybe get someone younger there. Connor Brown, you had a good playoff, but my God, it took you 60-whatever games to score.
Yes.
And Adam Henrique, I know we traded for you, but how much gas is in your tank? And Cass says, that's a great point. That would have been a tough decision. Maybe you couldn't have parted ways with all three of them, but maybe you then have the money for Holloway. And then you have the young, enthusiastic, energetic guy up front that maybe Connor McDavid is missing. Could this be what he wants? Because Connor says, like everything he has said in the last couple of days, because he did the interview with Elliot and Kyle, and he specifically brought up 25-26 a couple of times. He's sort of refusing to talk beyond that because he's not signed beyond that. But maybe that's what, because I don't think this is him saying, hey, Stan, I want this guy on the team, and I don't I don't think he'd operate that way, right? I don't think he doesn't want to be. But I do think he might think, okay, who's succeeding here? Who has beaten us or who has given us trouble along the way? And maybe Connor McDavid is thinking, I would sooner start the season with 3 or 4 question marks, but I think that at least a couple of those question marks are going to turn out if you have these young guys with a lot of energy competing for spots, as opposed to like, here's a guy near the tail end of his career who's comfortable and is just sort of waiting for the playoffs and hoping he can help the Oilers get back there. I don't know. And first of all, whether McDavid says this or not, I mean, Brad in the Nasty Chat says, let the over-analysis begin. I'm the first one to admit that's what this is, okay? I'm one of you, Brad, when it comes to those thinking. Even though I'm a talk show host, we sometimes overanalyze things. But even if that's not what Connor is saying to Bowman, I think that needs to be a philosophy of this organization.
Yes.
I mean, I'm going to say something really harsh here, everybody. I'm going to say something really harsh. And this player has been a massive part of the Edmonton Oilers for the last couple of years. Massive. But should signing Matthias Ekholm to a contract extension be a priority? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know? To me, you got to see how this guy plays. See what's in the tank at the end of the season before you say, oh, here's another 3 years.
Right.
Wallman's different to me, right? Wallman's different to me.
Now, is it just strictly age-based?
Age and performance-based.
Age and performance, sure.
Yeah.
But a lot of it has to do with age. He's a young, up-and-coming defenseman.
Younger, yeah.
Younger. Well, look at these are words that Connor McDavid said. Words that came out of Connor McDavid's mouth in that clip you played.
Right.
Stale. Older.
Yep.
Young blood.
Yep.
New faces.
Yep.
Playing with new guys.
Yep.
Right? If you're looking at that through the lens of what you just explained.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
So what if his kind of message to Stan Bowman is, again, I don't want to run the team. I don't want to pick the players. But if you're asking me what kind of GM I want to play for potentially the next 9 years, I want a guy who's not afraid to move on. Even if he thinks Connor McDavid is this guy's buddy or this guy set up Connor McDavid for a couple nice goals in Game 3 against the Minnesota North Stars, I realize we got to cycle new guys in.
Yeah.
Just food for thought. Just food for thought. Queen Bee Amy, young players bring excitement, energy, speed. They haven't had time to become jaded like some older players. Yeah, fair enough. But I do think, okay, so Connor McDavid said stale. Did we not get the sense once they hit game 55, game 60, that they were waiting for the playoffs to start? Because then we saw these guys here's this guy missing a game. How is he actually hurt? How hurt is he? Could he play? Some guys were hurt, but there was some load management going on. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And yeah, they didn't get home ice advantage in the first round. It didn't hurt them. But I do think there was that sense of, okay, we know who we are. We know who we are. Connor McDavid. We know who we are. We know how to play in the playoffs. We're fine. Maybe McDavid's saying, you know what? Maybe we're better off having a rookie or a first-year guy trying to score 15 goals for the first time ever. Maybe we're better off with Matt Savoy learning how to be a penalty killer as opposed to like someone who's like, yeah, you know what? Hey, I was 95% in the playoffs last year on the PK. I'm not going to worry about being 70% on March 1st, okay? I'll turn it on. Like maybe that's what he's saying. They got stale. They had too many guys who
like. Do you think he's questioning the drive or desire?
I think he's just. I don't think he's specifically questioning anybody's drive, but I think he's saying having some younger, hungry guys adds to the group. It can maybe lift up the energy of the entire group. And to back up what you were saying, maybe he's saying, hey, you know what? There's some new coaches. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
I think he likes. I'm not saying he doesn't like Knoblauch. I think he likes Knoblauch, but you know, there's a couple comments about the power play. The power play might look a little bit different. Certainly, the PK will look different because Knoblauch said it yesterday, and it needs to look different.
Abutsky says hanging on Connor's every word at this point is a bit silly. He's just filling time until he doesn't answer the one question we all care about. He'll tell everyone when he's made his decision.
I understand why you would say that. I wouldn't necessarily agree with that because I think he said some very interesting words today that we should look into. That's all. I get it. I mean, you know, okay, so we're getting some comments. Go, come on, you guys, shut up. You're overanalyzing it. But these comments aren't contract related. This is him talking about the esprit de corps of the team. Which is interesting. Okay, 780-218-9999, River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. This is the Oil Understood for GCL Diesel. We got Jay's Play of the Day coming up. Here comes the Coop.
Head Coach Kris Knoblauch announced that Zach Hyman will miss the early parts of the season as the team expects a November 1st return date. And for the Elks, 2 players are confirmed out for Saturday's game in Hamilton. Nick Anderson sidelined with a hip injury, while Royce Metier has an Achilles issue. And Jared Brinkman, who sat out practice all week, is available for the game. Down south, J.J. McCarthy missed Vikings practice for the second straight day. Carson Wentz is the expected starter from Minnesota against the Bengals if McCarthy can't go. Tonight, the winless Dolphins face the 2-0 Bills. In Week 3, join Lieutenant Eric down at Ellie's Sports Bar and Lounge at Centre Casino on Fort Road for kickoff at 6:15. In the majors, 3-time Cy Young winner Clayton Kershaw of the Dodgers has announced that he will retire at the end of the season. This sports update is brought to you by Advantage Sports Medicine. Connor McDavid's got a team of specialists, and you're stuck with a bag of frozen peas. Get the same locker room approach that's trusted by the best in the game. Give them a call at 780-460-9977 or visit their website at advantagesportmed.ca to book an appointment today. Jay's Play of the Day and Name the Animal up next on The Reid Wilkins Show. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
The Oil Stream.
That's the really interesting thing to look at this. Okay, what could Savoy do? What could Howard do? What could possibly Tomasek do? You know, could Wallman score 15 from the back end, which would be huge?
That would be.
So that could add up to about 40 goals. McDavid himself could provide a 40-goal swing from last year.
The Oil Stream, presented by Boston Pizza. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday afternoons at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Running your own small business takes courage, and as it grows, so does your team. That's why Alberta Blue Cross offers health, dental, life, disability, and wellness benefits designed for small businesses, because we know a healthy team means a thriving business. Join over 5,000 Alberta businesses who have chosen us to help their business grow and succeed. Alberta Blue Cross takes care of you and your employees, so you can take care of your business. Visit ab.bluecross.ca to find a plan that's right for you.
Gallo LLP is an Alberta-based accounting firm with expert chartered professional accountants in both our Edmonton and Sherwood Park accounting firms. Our experienced and innovative accountants provide financial advice that saves our clients money. Simply put, we help our clients protect their assets and grow their businesses. At Gallo LLP, they go beyond the numbers to ensure the continued success of your business. Reach out to Preet or John to discuss how they can help your business grow. Visit gallollp.ca today and see how they can help you take your business to the next level.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know. All right, 3:51 in about 10 minutes. We're going to be joined by Elks defensive back coach Aaron Grimes. We'll have comments from Stuart Skinner, a little more from Kris Knoblauch and Connor McDavid coming up as well as the Oilers on the ice today. Zach Hyman, according to Kris Knoblauch, targeting November 1st as a return from the wrist injury. So tough news for the Oilers today. I mean, we're hoping, well, maybe he'd get into even preseason games or certainly be ready for the start of the season. That will not happen. All right. Any texts coming in? 780-218-9999. River Cree Resort and Casino inbox.
Dudley says, would you guys be concerned about meeting Dallas in the playoffs this year and having our power play shut down, seeing how Glenn Gulletson ran our power play?
Whoa, geez. I don't even think that far. I think if you're playing Dallas in the playoffs, it's probably in the West Final again, and several things are going well. Here's the thing, though, everybody, and I keep saying this, and I know the Oilers had a quote-unquote down year for the power play. I do think there will be some changes this year, right, with McFarland running it. And I also think teams know what the tendencies are, but the good players can still do it. Yes, I know, well, don't go to Leon for the one-timer. Well, look, Leon scores on the one-timer more than most guys. So I guess my answer to that would be I'm not worried about that right now. Maybe just about 4-10 now for Aaron Grimes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No problem. Ian says, adding that comment to the ones last week, we now know why he's not signing.
Do we?
Yeah, I don't know that perpetuates him not signing. I thought what he just said there was positive for Oilers fans. This is Connor McDavid saying this is the best practice he's been a part of with this team in a long, long time. Saying that last year's practices became stale.
Well, I think he said, okay, I'll just play the start of this one clip.
I thought at times last year it was a little stale. And you can have that with older teams that, are kind of have one eye and, looking ahead to the playoffs.
Okay, so there it is. I'll cut that off. We were stale last year, understandable, because we always had, or whoever, some of the older guys have one eye looking for the play. Like, I do get what he's saying, as much as I can, I suppose, having never played in the NHL. But Matt's and was it Knoblauch or Bowman said this in their availability on when did they talk? Monday? The days are all blending together already. I think it was Bowman that said, like, okay, the third game of the season is going to be in Madison Square Garden. Matt Savoy and Ike Howard, that's going to be, if they're on the team, everybody, okay, like settle down. Oh, Reid, they're not good enough. Settle down. But at some point, some of the younger guys are going to have those, holy crap, I've never done this moments, right?
Yep.
Can that be exciting for more veteran players? I think it can. When Koob or Benny or Trev get to sit on this side of the desk and do a show because they're moving up the tree here or they're filling in for somebody, I'm going to think that's pretty cool. Even if I'm the one they're filling in for, I'm not here. I'm going to be hoping I can check them out and encourage them.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's what McDavid was saying. If we read into that, then that's what I was saying before the break. Game 45 on January 4th in Minnesota is not going to fire up Adam Henrique or Connor Brown or, quite frankly, even Nugent Hopkins or McDavid or Leon at this point. He's probably even including himself in that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't think he's saying, I wasn't guilty of it. And in that interview with Elliott and Kyle, he even talked about, man, like I did Four Nations face-off, and it took me several weeks to, and I got to budget this around the Olympic break. So he's still learning about managing stuff throughout the course of the season. But he's saying, here it is.
I thought at times last year it was a little stale. And you can have that with older teams that, are kind of have one eye and, looking ahead to the playoffs. So, you can have some monotonous days, and I felt that last.
All right. So maybe that's just saying we need an injection of youth, or we need an injection of guys new to the NHL or new to this team. You can't just bring, even if you've had a successful year, you can't just bring everybody back all the time. So he's saying this publicly. Can we not assume that he said that to Stan Bowman? There's probably things that he said to Stan Bowman that he would never say publicly. But I would say something like that is something he could say to Stan Bowman. Hey, Stan, you know what? I'm thinking about, games we play, how long the season is, the ups and downs we've had, playing against other teams. I think teams need a couple of guys, that are just, it's all new to them. They're excited, and that excitement rubs off on everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying.
Ian adds to that comment. He says, yes, but if he's saying that what management has done with this team, he's not happy. Now, if this changes his mind, good. But if he's not happy with how the team is managed over 10 years, we can see why he's thinking about not signing.
Yes, that's fair. This is an interesting discussion. I'll say this. I don't think that McDavid is... I think he's a thoughtful guy, and he would recognize Stan Bowman is different than Ken Holland or whoever. And Holland was a pretty good GM, right?
Mm-hmm.
I thought, for the most part. And can you read that to me again, Jay?
It says, yes, but if he's saying what management has done with his team, he's not happy. Now, if this changes his mind, good. But if he's not happy with how the team is managed over 10 years, we can see why he's thinking about not signing.
Okay. My question back to that, though, would be, is it as simple as black or white, happy or not happy? Okay? I don't think it is, because when you are immersed in a situation, everybody think about something in your life, where maybe you had to make a change or were thinking about something. Yes, in some cases it might be like, that sucked, I had to get out of it. But a lot of times it's like, okay, I really got to weigh it. So is it a case of McDavid not being happy, or is it a case of him having realizations over now a decade in the NHL of the necessity of having an injection of energetic youth onto your roster? So and then again, if he's talking to Bowman about that, and then they're having open discussions, why would he not be happy?
Right.
Because he actually sounded quite happy today. He actually sounded quite happy today.
I think it's motivation. I think it's excitement. I think it's a little bit of new blood, young blood, which is exciting to have. Bring some energy to the rink every day. So, truthfully, I thought that was the best practice we've had in a long time. So, it was exciting, fun to be out there, high pace, competitive. thought it was the best practice I've had in a long time.
So here's what I would say. And look, I get it, everybody. We don't know what's going to happen. Maybe he becomes a free agent and walks. I'm not saying that's not possible. But I don't think he's necessarily looking back and is saying, screw this management team, screw Holland, screw Cates, screw Chiarelli, screw Bowman. I'm going to leave the first chance I get, and that'll show them for not putting together a good enough team. I think he's saying, okay, we've evolved. I've evolved. We have been to the Cup final 2 years in a row. What could give us that extra jolt? Maybe it's look, I know I'm being optimistic about this, but I think there's more than just sitting there and having doom and gloom about that he might go somewhere else. The stuff he said today, in my mind, is the most optimistic stuff he said in the last 2 weeks.
Very much so. That's not even debatable. That's not debatable. This is positive. This is good.
All right. This is fun, eh?
This is fun.
This is great. Hockey's getting rolling again. You know what else we got to do? You ready to do this, my friend?
Bring it on.
It's Jay. It's play. He's Jay. It's today. It's Jay's play of the day. It's Jay's play of the day. Jay's play of the day.
And it is presented by Play Alberta. Why limit your choices when you can have it all? Play Alberta is your go-to app for casino games, sports betting, and lottery, all in one place with easy access to real money games. You can enjoy everything Alberta has to offer right at your fingertips. Download Play Alberta now. Start playing today.
All right. Thursday night football is upon us. Buffalo at home to the 0-2 Miami Dolphins. The only bright spot thus far, at least offensively for the Dolphins, has been Devon Achane. He's got 2 touchdowns. He's a dual threat. He's got the ability to run. He's got the ability to catch. Jalen Waddle is still a little injured. Tyreek Hill's probably going to draw double teams. You're going to probably see a lot of Devon Achane. So I took an Achane anytime touchdown. It was a little chalky at minus 119. But as you know, the good people over at Play Alberta have boosted that to minus 105. So that's a Devon Achane anytime touchdown score. Head on over to playalberta.ca. Click on sports, click on EST specials, and you'll see it there. There's a bunch of different plays for tonight's game, but that's the one I'm riding with. Devon Achane anytime TD score. And don't forget, always use your game sense.
It's Jay. It's play. He's Jay. It's today. It's Jay's play of the day. It's Jay's play of the day. Jay's play of the day.
All right, Jay's play of the day for Play Alberta. More from Oilers training camp today as the on-ice sessions have begun. If you have missed it, a headline today, Zach Hyman, November 1st is the target date for his return to game action. That would mean he would miss 12 regular season games in October. Aaron Grimes, Elks defensive back coach, is scheduled to join us in about 7 minutes. We're going to have crunching the numbers for Gallo LLP. We'll name the animal at some point. We're giving away Oil Kings tickets to their home opener on Saturday. Here's the 4 o'clock break.
The Lock Shop.
And so this comes down to just who do you think's going to win? And for me, I just have zero faith in that BC Lions defense. And I just don't have the confidence that the BC Lions defense do that to Vernon Adams, Dedrick Mills, and the rest of the Calgary Stampeders offense. The only real concern that I would have for the Stamps is a little bit of injuries defensively, especially on their D-line. But the Stamps team, they're just the best team in the CFL.
The Lock Shop, weekday mornings at 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Your home for live music and great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino.
Just wasting gas. Whoa, blurring them dotted lines, killing.
Don't miss 3-time CCMA Performer of the Year, Dallas Smith, Unplugged, November 1st at the River Cree Resort and Casino. Get Get your tickets at rivercreekresort.com. River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement, bet on it.
Lobsterfest is back at the Canadian Brewhouse. Saturday, October 4th at 6 p.m. A pound and a half of fresh Atlantic lobster with all the fixins for just $49.99. Pair it with a stein of Alexander Keith. Details at thecanadianbrewhouse.com.
Weiss Johnson, whoa.
Hi, Dennis from Weiss Johnson here, and we're excited to be partnering up with the Nielsen Show and have a special deal exclusive for Nielsen Show listeners. Get 10% off any new Trane furnace, air conditioner, or heat pump installation from now until the end of October. Bundle a furnace with an AC or heat pump and get 25% off the package price. Get your home comfort now for all seasons with Weiss Johnson and Trane. Trane, it's hard to stop a train. Visit wjsportstalk.com today.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
Zach Hyman has been ruled out for the early part of the Oilers season. Head coach Kris Knoblauch targeting an early November return for the 33-year-old. And the Elks released their final injury report before Saturday's game in Hamilton. Jared Brinkman is good to go for the game off a toe and shoulder injury, while Nick Anderson and Royce Meche have been ruled out. Thursday night football, it's Josh Allen and the Bills taking on the Dolphins. Catch the game alongside Lieutenant Eric down at Selly Sports Bar and Lounge at Century Casino on Fort Road. Kickoff for that one goes at 6:15. I'm Zachary Kubish. That was your sports update. Hour 2 of the Reid Wilkins Show starts right now.
6 minutes after 4 on a Thursday afternoon. Looks like the weather's nice. I've been outside since about 8:50 a.m. That's okay, though. Really appreciate you tuning in. A lot to talk about, of course. Oil Kings getting going. We're going to give away tickets to their home opener later on the show. Hyman out, not great news until November 1st-ish for your Edmonton Oilers. We'll have more comments from Kris Knoblauch, Stu Skinner, and Connor McDavid as we move throughout the course of the program. And, of course, the Edmonton Elks. Every game is a huge one. They are 5-8. They are still in the thick of the playoff race, but they can't afford too many more in the L column here as they try to chase down third in the West or the crossover spot. There have been some encouraging signs for the Elks over the last few weeks, and now they're starting to get some interceptions and pass breakups from the secondary. To discuss that and more, their defensive backs coach, Aaron Grimes, is checking in. Aaron, you're on with Reid and Jay. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. How about you guys?
Doing very well.
Aaron, look, I know you've taken on a new role here this year. You were with the team last year, was one of the few members of the coaching staff that stuck around. But how's that adjustment been? How's it been going and now taking on the role as defensive back coach?
It's been a huge adjustment. Obviously having the room now, being the voice in the room, and trying to get all those guys on the same page versus last year just being an assistant and kind of helping out where Coach Shives and Coach Clent needed me. I will say that time I was back here last year for the back half of the season prepared me a little bit, but it's nothing like, when you are the voice and you're putting everything together and you're trying to, make sure guys are in the right spots. It's a little bit more hectic, but I love it.
Earlier in the season, look, this secondary was giving up deep shots. It was something that was killing the defense and adding a lot of offense for your opponents. But that has changed, and I want to know from you, what's that process like? Because if you looked earlier in the season, and I know there's been a few adjustments here and there, and there's been injuries, obviously. But what is that process like as a coach to change that? And obviously, with the guidance of defensive coordinator J.C. Sherritt, to limit that and have your players, or maybe as a coach, knowing what your players are capable of and putting them in the best positions. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, no doubt. I don't think it's any one secret recipe. I think it's a mixture of things. First and foremost, starting with coaching. I feel like I'm coaching better. I'm understanding my guys better, and we're seeing it the same way, right? And I always let those guys know it's easy for me to say I see it a certain way when I'm watching it on film over and over and over again. But at the end of the day, you guys are the ones on the field. So how can I get you guys to see it how I see it, and how can you guys get me to see why you're playing it that certain way? And then I can really help, get us in the right spots. And then it's also reps together. One, as a defense, right? Entirely new scheme. And then two, playing with the person next to you. Defensive back, unless we called man 65 times a game, you got to understand how the person next to you is playing a certain route combination. It could be the same call, and you can get 5 different route combinations in that call. And all 5 of those could play different depending on the person next to you. And that's something that just comes with reps and communication and being comfortable within the defense and with the person next to you.
Elks DB coach Aaron Grimes joining us here on the Reid Wilkins Show. Look, you got Tyrell Ford on one side, and you could look at his numbers and say, wow, but he doesn't get the ball thrown his way that much just because he's so dangerous. Now you've got a young cornerback in J.J. Ross on the other side, who has been blowing my mind, to be honest with you, because his level of play, his aggressiveness has just gone up and up and up and up. What is the ceiling for this guy?
Cliche, right? The sky's the limit for JJ. He's got the size, he's got the competitiveness, and he understands ball. He's a technician. He wants to be coached. He's harder on himself at times than we are on him. And that's the kind of stuff you want to see in a young player. He knows he's going to get tested. He's a rookie corner playing the boundary corner spot, which is the hot spot. But he was here last year, and he was a guy, right? He just needed to wait for his opportunity, and when it came, he's taken the opportunity and made the most of it. So I'm excited for JJ. He's been a great addition for us.
And then you look at the safety position, and it looks like Royce Metier, although nothing's confirmed, nothing's out, but that looked like a pretty tough injury. He has been listed on the injury report as out, so we'll see what happens there. But that's a hard guy to replace. He's a leader. He's a physical player. He's smart. At safety, you're the quarterback of the defense, or at least a secondary. But your defensive backs crew has been getting more and more aggressive every game. Okay, and I feel like Royce Metier was able to set that tone and preach it, and people would believe it because he plays that way. Is that core able to keep playing this aggressively and continue that even without Royce Metier in the lineup?
100%. I think we are, right? That's the culture that we're trying to build, continuing to build, and have built to a certain degree so far. Is we're going to play aggressive, in-your-face football. And then now we're getting to the point where we're also going to take the ball away when it comes our way. We're going to try to capitalize on those opportunities. Losing Metch late in that game, last weekend obviously hurts because Metch is the voice back there, right? But you look at the people who are still on the field. You talk about JJ, aggressive. KJ, Cordell, very aggressive, right? And most wouldn't think that with his size. You look over to the field side and Kobe, right? He's not necessarily just knocking people out, but you throw a screen or a flat or something out to number 0's way, there's not a lot of tackles you've seen him miss this year. And that's the kind of football we want to play. You got to earn everything down the field. So even with Metch out, that's what this room is going to be and needs to be.
Aaron, after you guys beat Calgary last week, we had JC on the show on Monday, and we also had Glenn Suter on the show from TSN, who was a safety in the CFL, obviously. And then they both referenced, one from a coach perspective, one from a broadcaster, ex-player perspective, that it can take time for a secondary, and you've talked about this a little bit, but to gel and to figure out when a play is there to be made, right? I don't just have to let him catch it and tackle him. I can knock it away or pick it off. What's a realistic time frame for a newer player to the CFL to start to understand those split seconds and those gaps, and or maybe even how long did it take you till you were really like, okay, my head's not spinning anymore. Like I got this out here.
I would say probably at least, in my opinion, the first third of the season, right? Because there's so many moving parts in the CFL game, especially if you're playing one of those halfback, Sam, or free safety spots. There's just so many moving pieces, right? When everybody's stationary, we can talk all we want right before the ball is snapped, but these guys are moving pre-snap, post-snap, you know what I mean? So it gets tough. And then you talk about injuries like Devadrick Bynum, he went down early for us this year. So then you insert another rookie right in there. So just as soon as you start thinking like, okay, these guys have 2 or 3 games together, they're starting to figure it out, in comes another player, right? And so that's where pro sports is, that next man up mentality, and it's chemistry back there. And I'm a huge believer in the chemistry of the DB room, because that communication is everything. It's not just man-to-man. I'm going to cover him wherever he goes. This field is too big. These receivers are too fast. We got to be on the same page. Do we switch this? Do we not switch it? Are you high? Are you going to be aggressive if they throw the screen, or do I need to be aggressive? And that comes with reps.
Yeah, just one more for me. You're going into Hamilton. Bo Levi is, he's been doing it for a long time. I know when you guys were beaten by Hamilton earlier this season, we discussed a lot on this station what he does with his head and his eyes to try to manipulate defenders. What sort of challenges does Bo Levi present?
Well, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer, so the list can get lengthy, but from a defensive back perspective, if you let him know what coverage you're in pre-snap, he's going to know where to throw the ball before it's in his hands. So we got to do a good job of trying to disguise as much as possible. But like I told those guys, never disguise so long that you can't get your job done, because at the end of the day, you got to be in the right spot. And then, believe it or not, I know he just ran for his first rushing touchdown in, since 2013 or whatever the stat was. But he's very slippery in the pocket. He's got good pocket presence. He can feel pressure and get the ball out when it's there. So being able to plaster, right? You might cover something well, and then he gets out of the pocket. Now it's scramble drill. So we got to be able to plaster the nearest receiver to us when we're in zones and make sure that we don't give up those free yards.
Okay. Aaron, I know you're busy. I know you probably got meetings and then guys to talk to. So thanks for fitting us in here on Edmonton Sports Talk. All the best. Like I was saying, the playoff spot is there, right? You just got to take advantage of every weekend. So go get them in Hamilton.
No doubt. I appreciate you guys. A little busy, but I've always got time for you, Reid and Jay. You know that.
Right on. Thank you, Aaron. We'll talk to you soon.
Take care.
Aaron Grimes, defensive backs coach for your Umtalk. So I wanted to ask him, what's a realistic length of time? And he said, well, probably a third of the season if you got new players and or a new secondary thrown together. And the Elks kind of had both, really. Like younger players and experienced players, guys who hadn't played together a lot. And I think we've seen the second third of the season, now they're into the final third, the second third of the season, night and day from the start.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that is how Aaron and JC are coaching and calling things, but it's also, we have seen interceptions, but not just that, like passes being broken up. Because the Elks had kind of become a defense, and it's going to be tough against Hamilton. But to me, they'd kind of become a defense where it's like, okay, we got beat deep early in the season. We don't want that to happen. So we'll have guys playing the outfield, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
And then, we're giving up all this underneath stuff. Okay, he'll catch it. Okay, we tackled him. Oh, he still got 8 yards? Oh, bummer, right? I'm simplifying it to some extent, but now we're seeing like, okay, we can guard against the deep shot. Not perfectly, but better. And now we understand where these shorter throws are going, and we can get in the way. We can hit the guy, we can pick it off, or we can make an aggressive play to step in front. The 2 Ford interceptions, the one that didn't count, that's just the guy saying, hey, that's my ball.
Yeah.
I don't have to wait. I don't have to wait for the offensive guy to touch it before I do anything. I can go get it. Who was the? It wasn't Ross. Who was the guy that had the interception? Like he was just running.
Cordell Jackson.
Yeah, he just ran. He ran his route, and he turned around, and the ball hits him on the hip. He's
that's
like,
a scheme.
That's a pick.
Yeah.
Right. So we're seeing some improvement there. It's going to be very, very tough against Bo Levi. But hey, if you're going to make the playoffs, you got to beat some tough teams.
But I'll tell you one thing: that JJ Ross is a baller. That guy, if he keeps playing this way, won't be here much longer. He'll be in the NFL. He was not there last time they played against Hamilton. So I think that's a major upgrade on that boundary corner. So see how that goes. But look, this team can beat any team. That's a fact. Has it? Once it's beat one really good team.
Right.
But they can win every game. They have not been blown out. I guess the Labor Day game would be considered
got out of hand. Sure, yeah.
But I think if this team plays to their abilities, I think they can go into Hamilton and get a win.
Yeah. Huge game.
I'm excited for what's coming up after the break.
After the break, we're going to do crunching the numbers for Gallo LLP.
This should be an interesting conversation.
Because we're going to look, I'm going to expand on something I've been referring to loosely over the last couple of weeks, and we're going to get into that a little bit deeper. Kris Knoblauch will talk about one of the new guys at Oilers camp as well. You'll hear more from Connor McDavid. Here comes the Coop.
Edmonton's Zach Hyman is out until at least November, according to Oilers head coach Kris Knoblauch. That's about 12 games for Hyman as he sits out with a wrist injury suffered against the Stars in the postseason. On the field, Nick Anderson, Royce Metier will not play for the Elks this week in Hamilton, with Jared Brinkman back in the lineup, coming off a shoulder and toe injury. Tune into the Green and Gold Kickoff Show, which goes live Saturday at 4 o'clock, only on EST. And Thursday Night Football, Bills and Dolphins go head-to-head at 6:15. Buffalo leading the AFC East, going 2-0 so far, while Miami swims at the bottom of the division, winless on the season. Swing by Sally's Sports Bar and Lounge at Century Casino on Fort Road for the action. Lieutenant Eric will be down there every Monday and Thursday night. In baseball, Clayton Kershaw of the Dodgers will retire at the end of this season. The 37-year-old winning 3 Cy Young Awards in his career. This sports update is brought to you by Paramount Flooring. Proudly serving Edmonton and area for over 30 years, their West End showroom is open 7 days a week. You can shop online at ParamountFlooring.ca. Crunching the numbers for Gallo LLP brings us back from the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric.
Certainly the Ticats feel the Elks' pain because they were in that frame of mind following the Labor Day game and the last-second loss against the Argos. So I think the Ticats are really prepared for a slobber knocker of a game because Edmonton can run the ball, can play some pretty good defense. They have some weapons, always good on special teams with Javon Leake. I think this is going to be maybe a high-scoring game. Maybe both teams get into the 30s.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric. Weekday mornings 6 to 9. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
When you cater with Royal Pizza, you're getting the same great pizzas, pastas, and salads you love, just bigger and built for a crowd. Perfect for teams, offices, or parties, Royal Pizza's catering brings real value around $10 per person. Delicious, high quality, and easy. If you like their pastas, you'll love their catering pastas even more. Visit royalpizza.ca or contact your local store for exact pricing and details.
So come on home, Royal Pizza, still making it great.
When gambling, set a budget before you play. Stay informed and visit GameSenseAB.ca to learn how. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense. Your home for live music and great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino.
Just wasting gas. Whoa, blurring them dotted lines, killing.
Don't miss 3-time CCMA Performer of the Year, Dallas Smith, Unplugged, November 1st at the River Cree Resort and Casino. Get your tickets at rivercreeresort.com. River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement, bet on it.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
Along with Jason Milne, I am Reid Wilkins. We are in the Canadian Brewhouse studio. It's wing showdown time at the Canadian Brewhouse. Creamy street corn against Mexican chili lime. Which one is the number one seed and which is the number two? Mexican chili lime must be the number one. They must have home wing advantage. Two bold flavors battling for your taste buds. Try them anytime or just 69 cents every Wing Wednesday at the Canadian Brewhouse. Great stuff. Love having the Canadian Brewhouse on board. 780-218-9999 is how you can text us. That's the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. If you're taking us in on YouTube, thank you for doing so. You can give us a thumbs up. Hit that like button. We are at 76, where the show is not even halfway over, and we want to get to 100. So we should be able to do that. But don't delay. Click, click, click. And share if you've already given a thumbs up. Click share and text or email the show link off to somebody else and say, hey, here's Edmonton Sports Talk. They're off and running. They're having a great time.
That's a good idea.
They're talking Oilers. They're talking Elks. They're talking Oil Kings. And we're talking local stuff. We're going to have a wheelchair rugby coach on later in the show because there's a big event at the St. FX Sports Center this weekend. So we like to keep you informed about a bunch of things going on in Edmonton and area. We pride ourselves on doing that. iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio. Remember to encourage. You may have to show somebody in your life how to use the app because you know what some people are going to say. Oh, I could never listen to a radio station on an app. Really? Really? Who's that? Seth Meyers and Tina Fey that did that? Yeah. Pretty sure they can, and they will, or they already have. And the cool thing too, there's another way to consume the show of the year here on Edmonton Sports Talk, 2 years running, the Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric, 6:04 every morning until 9. It's also on 95.7 Cruise FM. On top of all the streaming stuff we do. That has not changed. That's the Cruise stuff is not replacing anything. It's in addition to. So it's quite beautiful.
Good point.
So that's what you need to tell people in your life. Reid Wilkins says Edmonton Sports Talk is quite beautiful and the ways you can get it.
Well put.
Thanks, buddy. Every once in a while. Again, texting 780-218-9999 is the afternoon inbox presented by River Cree Resort and Casino, home of Tap 25 Restaurant, where the entire menu is 50% off 7 days a week from 2 to 5 p.m. The off-topic topic for William Huff, what is your party showstopper dish? So you're having a gathering. You're having Jablonski's birthday party. Or it's the year-end party for the field hockey team at the St. Vincent's School for Poorly Coordinated Boys.
Yeah.
What are you putting out there?
Saskatoon Muncher says smoked mac and cheese with bacon, jalapenos, and a secret mix of 5 different cheese and spices with panko on top.
No, that's what we like to hear.
Bronco Nick says homemade bruschetta. Now, I've always said bruschetta, but I think it is properly pronounced bruschetta.
Is it? Not bruschetta?
Well, he says Italian pronunciation. He clarifies bruschetta.
All right. Bronco Nick, I played with Bronco Nick in the EST Classic and the Wolf and the Wolf's dad. It was fun. All right, keep those coming in. Your suggestions. We are going to go into... I have too many pieces of paper, Jason Milne. I got to organize my life.
Well, you can
who's waving to us? Oh, it's Benny.
You can get in the digital age.
Yeah, no, I need... this has to be on paper, this part of it. I just got to figure out something. It's good, though. We have so many sponsors. I've got so many papers. That's
true.
Wonderful.
A lot of people love
it. If you'd like to partner up with us, email Jay at edmontonsportstalk.com. You can crunch. We're going to crunch the numbers for Gallo LLP, Chartered Professional Accountants, where they go beyond the numbers to ensure the continued success of your business. Reach out to Preet or John at Gallo LLP. If you'd like to discuss further how they can crunch your numbers and help your business grow, visit their website, gallollp.ca. See how Gallo LLP can help your business grow. Okay, so I've been referencing an Oilers goals deficit from last season.
Yes.
Whether you like these players or not, they did have goals, and they will not be on the Oilers this season. So they may be scoring these goals for other teams. Well, Derek Ryan won't be. Corey Perry, I guess he got hurt in one of the captain's skates in LA. But anyway, you know what I'm saying. They scored 259 goals last year. That was 11th in the NHL. The Oilers have lost 65 goals from last season. I will now elaborate. Corey Perry scored 19 Quite a few. Jeff Skinner scored 16. Victor Arvidsson scored 15. Connor Brown scored 13. John Klingberg, who was briefly an Oiler, scored 1. And Derek Ryan, who we didn't see much in the second half of the season, scored 1. So that's 65 goals that were on the roster last year and are not on the roster this year. So there we have a goal deficit. So if the Oilers are going to score let's face it, they were 11th in the NHL. That's kind of just above average. Well, it is above average.
Well, it is.
It's not great.
But is it for Oilers
out of 32 teams, you're kind of in the top third, depending on how you round it off. So where are these goals going to come from? Where are our 65 goals going to come from? Well, I think that there's one. Well, there's a couple.
Well, the quick answer is
obvious. Mangiapane.
But what's that number look like?
What is that number, right?
I mean, would you be happy as an Oilers fan with 15 goals?
I think Mangiapane's going to have to score more than that. I think you're going to have to hope he gets to 20 or 25.
He's only scored over 20 once in his career.
But he went way over, right?
He went 30. He had 35 goals. So you're in 35, then 17, then 14 the last 2 seasons.
So you would more modestly put him at 15.
I think that's realistic, Reid. I do.
Okay.
But, okay, he's also going to be playing with some of the,
Probably
some of the, maybe he's got more elite passers, players, skaters that he's playing with.
Right.
So that might lead to more goals.
I think it'd be great if he could get to 20. Okay, well, let's try to do not worst case scenario, but let's do modest case scenario.
So what? 17 would be modest?
Well, let's just put 15.
15? Okay.
All right. Trent Frederick. Do we put him down for 15?
Well, I think you have to. I think you have to. But, I mean, his career high right now is 18.
18. Last year, he scored 8 in 57 games.
Okay.
He's played 58 games. He played 1 game as an Oiler and didn't score. He only scored once in 22 playoff games.
So that's 15?
Supposed to be healthier. I think we need to get him to 15.
Okay.
Now, Walman as an Oiler, right? So Walman last year was responsible for 1 goal with Edmonton in 15 games. So what could we put Walman down comfortably for? 12, 10?
10's like...
Do you want to just stick with 10?
Yeah.
So that makes him 9 more than last year from what he provided.
Yeah, and I think he could. And it depends on his role with the power play.
Right. So then you get some guys who haven't played in the NHL or who have barely played. You get Savoy, you get Howard, you get possibly Tomasek. We're going to hear from a little bit about him a little bit later on.
But what about a guy like this? What about a guy like Nuge, who last year only scored 20 goals?
Well, that's going to be something that we're going to talk about as well as we move along throughout the show.
Okay.
So we're talking about goals made up by new players, but then what jump could potentially existing players make when it comes to goal scoring?
Do you think Nuge can, or is 20?
I think 20
you're
for
happy
him
with
is
20.
is probably where he's going to be.
Okay.
So
I think then you'd have to ask for more from Pud Golden as well.
Okay, so there's a good point. But let's just look at the players who weren't on the team
new
last
players.
year.
Sure,
Let's just finish that.
Okay, yeah.
So right now, we have the Oilers 65 goals short from last season.
And we
again,
just accounted for 40.
And we just accounted for 40. 15 Mangiapane, 15 Frederick, 10 Walman, which is actually only plus 9. Well, we'll round off. We can round off a little bit. And Frederick didn't score in the regular season. Didn't he only play 2 shifts or something, and they got 7 minutes, something like that? So then you're looking to get to last year's total, just with new guys. Just with new guys. We'll bring in the existing guys later, and then we'll adjust this. Then you would need Savoy, Howard, Tomasek, Lazar
15 goals
to score
15.
25. Because we're only at 40 out of 65.
Sorry, 25.
Yeah.
My
so
apologies.
is that on Google land?
This is.
I mean, let's like Lazar.
If Lazar gets you 10 goals,
I don't think he'll get 10.
I know,
Maybe
but
he can
it,
get
like,
5.
Okay.
So then you need 2 of those other 3 guys to be on the team and to hit double digits.
Well, that's the key. The key point is to be on the team.
There's step 1. That's step 1. Just being on the team.
So with Lazar's 5, you're at 20. Realistically,
right.
20 remaining to make up for the 65 that left. It looks like you're going to need to have Matthew Savoy on this team.
Yeah, probably.
Right? Now, you could say, well, he's going to be a 20-goal scorer, no problem. That would be aggressive.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that, though.
You could. I'm not saying you or I are going to.
Okay, fair enough.
But for the purposes of this, you could. What is a realistic expectation of goals for Matthew Savoy? Because look, he's going to have to be on this lineup, and he's between him and Ike Howard,
right,
and David Tomasek. He's the one that's probably most ready to go into that or to make that jump and be a regular contributor to this team.
Sure. Well, so that's what we're saying. There's still, even as we go through this, there are still concerns about there being a goal deficit from last year, just looking at the new guys. Now, look, Mangiapane goes off for 25, Frederick goes off for 20, Wallman goes off for 15, all of a sudden things change.
Yes.
But we didn't want to make those projections because we think being optimistic on every single guy isn't realistic. I also think coming in here and saying, well, Mangiapane's going to get 8 and Frederick's going to get 2, I don't think that would be going too far the other way. So that's why we're kind of trying to settle on numbers that these players have achieved before, and they should be able to achieve given how we think they're going to be used this season. So we're still missing something unless one of the rookies has a decent year, and does 12 or 15, maybe plays with one of the better centers and can chip in and score.
Yeah, and that's just a complete unknown. It really is. But I think realistically, would you say if Matthew Savoy is in this lineup and participating, that he would be a 15-goal scorer?
I think he'd have a good shot at it.
Like, what's the realistic over-under? 12?
12 and a half. Yeah, sure. Why not?
Sure.
Yeah.
So then we can then say put him down for 12.
Yeah, like could he score? 12 goals is twice a month. Right?
I mean, if it's more, gravy.
Sure.
But that's realistic. Everything we've said here has been somewhat realistic, if not underinflated.
Right.
Okay? So that takes us now to needing 8 goals to get back to what was...
That's it?
Yeah.
Well, if he gets to 12.
If he gets to 12.
Right.
And I think... Now, we'll have to wait till after the break because this is going to be an interesting afternoon debate for the Edmonton Garrison.
I think I hear him coming now.
I think there's a way that we can get to this.
This will be an optimistic. This last segment was a cautious segment.
Mm-hmm.
This next one might be an optimistic. Let's go for the explosion type segment. You're going to hear from Connor McDavid. You're going to hear from Kris Knoblauch about goal scoring, and then we're going to have the afternoon debate for Edmonton Garrison. It's 4:38. Here comes the Coop.
Oilers head coach Kris Knoblauch announced that Zach Hyman will miss the entire month of October for the Oilers, with Hyman expected to be back early November. For the Elks, 2 players are confirmed out for Saturday's game in Hamilton. Nick Anderson sidelined with a hip injury, while Royce Metier has an Achilles injury. issue. Jared Brinkman, who sat out practice all this week, is available for the game. And down south, JJ McCarthy missed Vikings practice for the second straight day. Carson Wentz to start for Minnesota against the Bengals if McCarthy can't go. Tonight, the winless Dolphins face the 2-0 Bills in Week 3. Join Lieutenant Eric for the action down at Sally's Sports Bar and Lounge at Central Casino on Fort Road. Kickoff goes at 6:15. In the majors, 3-time Cy Young Award winner Clayton Kershaw of the Dodgers has announced that he will retire at the end of the season. This sports update is brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc. Locally owned and operated, serving Leduc and surrounding areas since '93. They have doors, flooring, baseboards, and of course, plywood. Go see the knowledgeable staff today at Windsor Plywood Leduc. The Oilers conversation rolls on once we get back from break. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you up to date.
The EST Hangout.
Oh, well, his wife got a restaurant. Who cares? I go, he's gonna sign for $140 million. I go, that $400,000 for the restaurant? Like, somebody will sell the name, somebody will buy it. True. Who cares about the restaurant? You go by body language and what he says. Yes, I want to win in Edmonton. Has he said, yes, I want to stay in Edmonton?
The EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage. Weekday mornings 9 to 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Need extra space for products, tools, or seasonal stock? Sentinel Storage gives your business flexible storage and the room to grow. Affordable storage that scales with you. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca. Buy Canadian, store Canadian.
The leaves are turning, and just like golf season, time is running out to get in on Play Alberta's biggest offer ever. For a limited time only, new players can get up to a $1,000 casino bonus when they sign up. There's never been a better time to join the fun. Visit playalberta.ca today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. Remember, if you gamble, please use your game sense.
Win big this NFL season at the Canadian Brewhouse presented by Bud Light. You could win a trip to Super Bowl 60, plus prizes like smokers, Bud Light coolers, and a trip to an NFL home opener next season. Enjoy $1 off Bud Light and Budweiser tankards. Details at thecanadianbrewhouse.com.
You've always known GCL Diesel as the experts in diesel fuel systems. But did you know that GCL is also your source for turbochargers and turbo repair? As a turbo supplier for Garrett, Borg Warner, and Wholesat, GCL can provide genuine original equipment turbos at wholesale prices. Whether it's diesel, gas, natural gas, or performance, we can provide you with the turbo or custom repair you require. Turbo questions? We've got turbo answers. Visit us in the West End or online at gcldiesel.com. GCL Diesel, turbochargers, understood.
Must you click? Click. Must you click? Click, click.
There is the Thumb Click remix. It's put together by Zach Kubish. If you're taking us in on YouTube, give us a thumbs up. We're almost at 100, but get in there and do it. Let's try to hit 100 by the top of the hour. That's achievable. Don't be a pleasure delayer. Let's be in thumb gravy territory between 5 and 6. 780-218-9999 is how you text the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. You can email j@edmontonsportstalk.com, reid@edmontonsportstalk.com. Edmonton Sports Talk is presented by Play Alberta. Make your bets count for you and everyone else with the Play Alberta app, with hundreds of player prop bets on the biggest leagues, NFL, CFL, NHL, NBA, Major League Baseball, you name it. You're not just playing for fun, you're supporting your province. Play Alberta revenue helps fund Alberta programs and services. Deposit $50 today with promo code YEG50 and get an exclusive $50 free bet to get started. How can people find your play of the day, Mr. Milne?
Head on over to playalberta.ca, click on sports, click on EST specials, and boom, you'll see all of them.
This is Thursday Night Football related?
Yes.
You know what we'll have to do in the last hour? We're going to get the 100-sided die and do our draft.
I got it coming up after buying or selling for Damon Bunting Real Estate.
Oh, is that when we're doing it?
Before our courageous moment guest.
Oh, we'll do it then. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. You're leading 4-0 in our fantasy pool. And in our loser pool, we don't have to always do that on air. Did you write down your teams?
No, I can come up with.
Yeah, I'm taking Miami to lose tonight.
Are you?
So I'll take that one.
I think
we're both 4 for 4 so far.
We are.
And Coob, you're 3 out of 4, or are you 2 out of 4?
Coob's 3 for 4.
So we do a loser pool. We pick 2 teams in the NFL every week to lose, but once you take a team, you can't select them again. So if there was like an obvious worst team in the league, you can't just pick them week after week. So it's just some fun stuff we're doing. Jay, keeping ourselves and others entertained. Here at Edmonton Sports Talk.
That's what we do.
It's pretty cool. Okay, let's get to some audio from after the Oilers training camp practices today. Connor McDavid asked what he wants to work on.
I think I'm always looking to improve. Scoring goals was something early in my career that I wanted to work on, and seemed to check that box. And then for whatever reason, it's gone back to the playmaking side, which is fine too. I'm here to do whatever the team needs and help this team win. But I want to score goals, and I want to play at a high level and play at the level that I expect for myself. And looking to establish that right away.
Okay, so remember that. Kris Knoblauch also asked about. Yes, everybody, we're going here, but listen to what he says. Just a little bit on line combinations and line combinations through the preseason, perhaps.
A few things we want to see. One, seeing Tom Six on the wall, Frederick in the middle. Henrik's going to be playing center and wing. He's played a lot of center, but he'll be spending more time on the left wing early on. And Nuge also has played majority of his time left wing over the years, but I think we'll play him a little more center this year. So, camp, those guys have been in those spots, but, to say Tomasic's going to be a winger or, center, well, time will tell. It's just not only on how they're playing in that position, but how other guys are and how they're fitting and finding some chemistry.
Okay. So, there are some question marks here. I mean, Tomasik entirely. I think center versus wing is going to be a discussion for maybe Nugent Hopkins, maybe Henrique, maybe Frederick as we move through training camp and even into the season. And of course, guys can move around a little bit. We're going into the afternoon debate here for Edmonton Garrison Memorial Golf and Curling Club, accepting registration now for Thursday night Men's Curling League. Plus, book your Bonspiel for the upcoming season and get free ice rental with the purchase of a buffet dinner. Visit egmgolf.com for more details. That's egmgolf.com. Yes, indeed. We are talking about curling season already.
Tis here.
Do you curl? I've curled a little bit.
First time I curled since high school was last year at the Funspiel.
At the Funspiel, yeah.
But maybe you and I should go. Maybe we should go train over at the Garrison.
We could train. We could do a montage video of curling,
and maybe we
Rocky.
Could have a plate of wings after. Because
that's right.
They've advertised those wings as some of the best going.
Right. Yeah.
We should do that.
So here's the thing. Again, we're going to see how the lines shake out. Clearly, there's going to be a massive opportunity with Hyman. Again, I'm going to go with 12 games. That's the number of games the Oilers play, regular season games play in October. They're targeting November 1st as the return. They're going to need somebody to play there. So McDavid said something interesting. And the afternoon debate is which Oiler could have the biggest jump in terms of goals scored this season. So McDavid said, a couple years ago, I cranked up the goal scoring a little bit. Or, well, he actually even said since he came into the league. He went 16 in basically half a season as a rookie. Then he went to 30. Then he had 41 twice. Then he had 34 in 64 games in the COVID-shortened season. Another shortened season, he had 33 and 56. Came back with 44. Then he had 64. Since then, he's gone 32 and 26. So in the last 2 seasons, he's had 58 goals, less than the combined than 3 years ago. So could this be a season where, for whatever reason, McDavid says, I got to go back? Like, of course, he's still going to be a playmaker. Of course, he's still going to be one of the elite assist guys in the league. I mean, let's not forget, the season he got 64 goals, he got 89 assists. It's not as if he stopped setting guys up by any means. But could this be a year where, he shoots a little more there, or he looks for the shot a little more, or the coaching staff thinks, what, we need you to be more dangerous as a shooter, or that kind of thing. So if that happens, I mean, we're talking about the Oilers with a goal deficit of last year because Perry's 19 is gone. Jeff Skinner's 16 is gone. Arvidsson's 15 is gone. Connor Brown's 13 is gone. Okay? subbing in for that. We were talking about Mangiapane should score in the teens. Frederick should score in the teens. Wallman as a defenseman, maybe he can get to 10. There are some younger guys who are big question marks. But could McDavid ramp it up? Like, could he double what he scored last year? Could he go from 26 to 52? Could he get over 60 again like he did in 22-23? Or are we talking about, okay, you know what, 40 is probably reasonable, and he scores about 14 more goals than last year?
Honestly, I think if he doesn't have any setbacks, if he stays healthy. Right? I mean, last year, 67 games.
Right.
Right? But a combination of that and Connor McDavid shooting could very well get you around that 50 goal range, which he's very capable of. And it'll be interesting to see how a new coaching staff handles that. Is there more, I don't think pressure is the right word, but is there more push for Connor to, hey, Connor, if you've got a shot, do it.
Mm-hmm.
Feel free. But yeah, he could make up a lot of these goals on his own. I mean, that was the second least goals he's had since he entered the NHL.
Well, and let's and you know, there's a lot of talk about, okay, could the power play be different? Do they need to put a wrinkle in the power play? Maybe a wrinkle is finding areas for McDavid to shoot. Last year he had 9 power play goals. In 23-24 he had 7. In his 64-goal season in 22-23, he had 21 power play goals. So if he scored the same number of even strength goals as last season, but went back up to 21 power play goals, that's 11 goals right there. So that's 37.
Mm-hmm.
Now I know that's an if, but I'm just saying that's one way to look at it. If the power play is more productive than it was this past season, and maybe that's one of the wrinkles where the new power play coach says, okay, yes, of course we want Leon's one-timer and we want the threat of that, but sometimes you're coming down the slot and you're looking from him and I need you to take a wrist shot.
Yeah.
Or I need you to look to Leon and the goalie leans and then you put it on the other side. It's just things like that. Like, could that be the tweak to the power play? Find an area from which McDavid could shoot a little more and maybe get a few more goals that way.
I think Oilers fans would love that. Because as great as Connor McDavid is, I don't know if there's a stat for this, but he's probably one of the highest rated players to pass up grade A scoring chances in lieu of a pass. Right? Sure. And like I said, frustrating might not be the best word.
Because sometimes you think, why is he pass? Oh, that's why. And then you didn't realize the guy was wide open.
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine a new power play coach coming in here and saying to shoot less.
Right.
Right?
That's a very good point. So anyway, that's an interesting opportunity. Could McDavid take a big jump up in goals? Like, we're not talking, could he go from 26 to 30? Could he go from 26 to 40? Could he go from 26 to 50? Could he double what he did last season? Does that fill in some of the deficit? I mean, looking at last year, is Draisaitl going to get to 50 again? I don't know. I mean, last year he had 52 in 71 games. Pretty good. Remember, he didn't play the full season.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty safe to say Draisaitl's going to get 40. The only time he hasn't got 40 since 2018, 2019 is when he got to 31, and that was in the 56-game season. So if that's a full year, he's got a chance to get 50. I'm pretty comfortable putting Draisaitl down for 40 goals, even if McDavid's getting a ton of goals.
Well, Hyman had 27 goals last year.
Now, here's the thing. He had 27 and 73, and we already know he's going to miss games. Like, I was thinking, man, he could probably get back to 30, 35. He's been in that range. But now we're talking about him missing games, and then who knows if he could be a little bit hindered still with the wrist.
That's going to be tough. Because we know right now that he's projected at least to miss 12 games. That puts you at 70 games played.
Right.
Played 73 last year, had 27 goals.
27. Now, Perry took his spot on the power play as the season went along because Perry was very good. You know, maybe there's some more power play magic there for Hyman. Bouchard had 14 last year, probably comfortable putting him in that range. It took him forever to score a power play goal. It'd be great if he could flirt with 20, probably in that same range. Is Ekholm going to get to 9 again? Maybe not. Nurse had 5. To me, Nurse could score anywhere between 3 and 12. Yeah. I mean, we just kind of don't know. And sometimes the shots go in for defensemen and sometimes they don't. I mean, he had 16 in the 56 game season. The previous 2 years to this one, he had 10 and 12. So maybe Nurse is going to get bumped up a little bit. Maybe there are some goals there. Henrique getting to 12, that might be tough for him to get back to that level. Podkolzin had 8 last year. So there's a guy. Could he flirt with getting to the mid-teens and make up some of last year's goal? Or maybe if Henrique goes down, a guy like Podkolzin goes up a little bit.
I think that's an area where you could ask for an increase and do that realistically. I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility, given that he was drafted as an offensive player.
Right.
Who's changed his game. Now he might be a little bit more comfortable in that game and be able to deliver more offensively. And especially if he is going to be on Leon's wing, you have to be able to score at least 15 there. Or you should.
Yeah. Effective player with Leon praises him. He was on the PK. I think he's a good forechecker. I think he is responsible defensively. You just hope he finishes a little more if he's going to be on that top 6 role. Kapanen he had 5 goals in 57 games. He was a waiver pickup from Minnesota. He scored a massive overtime goal in the playoffs, and then he would have got a couple of empty netters. I couldn't go to double digits with him, quite frankly. I would still have him in this 6 to 8 range.
Well, this has been a really realistic look into these numbers, and that would be unrealistic, I think, at least to expect that. Now, if that happens, great. That's bonus. But we're looking realistically, and realistically, let me ask: do you think Ryan Nugent-Hopkins can improve?
No, I would have him right around 20 again.
And would that be satisfactory?
Well, I think that's just kind of where Nuge is, right? Like I mean, he's had 2018. He exploded up to 37 the year he got 104 points. Injury shortened season. He had 11. Season shortened by COVID. He had 16. The season slightly shortened by COVID. He had 22. Going back to 18-19, he had 28. I think right around 20 is probably what you're going to get from Nugent-Hopkins. So I think what we're looking at here is that if we're talking about players who are going to help make up that 65 goal deficit from last year's roster, in my mind, there are 3 main candidates: Mangiapane, Frederick. Like if could they score as much as Skinner and Arvidsson scored, who got to 31? I would say probably.
Yes.
And then to me, then it's McDavid. Then how many more does McDavid add from the 26 he got last year?
Like he could realistically double that.
He could. Like it's not out of the realm of possibility. Like I don't think that's crazy to say that.
No, it's not.
But I certainly think 40 is a realistic plateau for McDavid, plus Leon getting to 40. So if Leon goes, if let's say Leon comes down, well, but here's the thing. Let's say Leon were to come down from 52 to 40. Connor goes up from 26 to 40. You're only gaining 2 goals. So Leon has to get 50 again.
Well, that's the pressure of this.
But I do think, Wallman from the back end could add in a few more goals. So I think this might sound weird because the issue, quote unquote, with the Oilers during the McDavid-Draisaitl era has been preventing goals. I'll just include that all together: defenseman, goaltending, defensive play by everybody. I think that it's reasonable to discuss, and I'm sure not everybody's going to agree with me, but I think it's reasonable to discuss, are they going to be an above-average goal-scoring team? Because they barely were last year, with Draisaitl getting to 52, and still a good power play. Not a great power play like other years, but a good power play. So can they were 11th last year in goals scored. Can they be in the top 10 this year? I don't think that's going to be easy based on what were the projections we're talking about.
If the team and the newest additions overachieve, then yeah, they could be. But that's the big question.
Yeah, absolutely.
Last year, heading into the season, it was the defense. What's the defense going to look like? Who's going to defend? Now, oddly enough, the tables have turned, And now it's asking who's going to pour in goals in these forward groups.
Right. 780-218-9999. We are happy to hear from you. Jay and I are camped out in the Canadian Brewhouse studio. Pizza Sunday is back at the Canadian Brewhouse after 4 p.m. Grab an 8-inch 2-topping pizza for just $9.99. Wash it down with $6.99 doubles and $1 off Bud Light tankards. Okay, we'll have some more clips from Connor McDavid, Stuart Skinner, Kris Knoblauch in the final hour of the show. We'll profile a really interesting event coming up in Edmonton this weekend, and buying or selling for Damon Bunting when we get back.
Two guys and a goalie.
The thought I had this morning is, what if he is making this, we'll call it a political decision to have eyes on him, not falling on a sword, but carrying a shield, as it were. Because if everyone's asking questions about him, guess what they're not asking about? Guess who hasn't been swamped with stuff heading into the season? Stuart Skinner, Darnell Nurse, Evan Bouchard.
Two guys and a goalie, presented by GS Construction. Tuesday and Thursday afternoons at noon, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
Weiss Johnson, whoa.
Hi, Dennis from Weiss Johnson here, and we're excited to be partnering up with the Nielsen Show and have a special deal exclusive for Nielsen Show listeners. Get 10% off any new Trane furnace, air conditioner, or heat pump installation from now until the end of October. Bundle a furnace with an AC or heat pump and get 25% off the package price. Get your home comfort now for all seasons with Weiss Johnson and Trane. Trane, it's hard to stop a train. Visit wjsportstalk.com today.
Fall football and your living room just became the fan zone. Before you move in the giant screen, make space to cheer on your favorite team with Sentinel Storage. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca.
Running your own small business takes courage, and as it grows, so does your team. That's why Alberta Blue Cross offers health, dental, life, disability, and wellness benefits designed for small businesses, because we know a healthy team means a thriving business. Join over 5,000 Alberta businesses who have chosen us to help their business grow and succeed. Alberta Blue Cross takes care of you and your employees, so you can take care of your business. Visit ab.bluecross.ca to find a plan that's right for you.
At Mind360, we invite you to embark on your mental health journey in a safe and comfortable space. Conveniently located in St. Albert, Mind360 has a diverse team of experienced clinicians that offer a broad range of tailored services for children, adults, and families. Furthermore, we are very proud to serve our military, veterans, and first responders. If you're looking for counseling, treatment, or assessment, understand that you are not alone. Contact Mind360 at mind360.ca to book an appointment today.
Zach Hyman has been ruled out for the first month of the Oilers season. Head coach Kris Knoblauch targeting an early November return for the 33-year-old. While from LA, Odze Kopitar of the Kings has announced that the 2025-26 season will be his final year in the NHL. The two-time Stanley Cup champion has spent his entire career with the Kings. And the Elks released their final injury report before Saturday's game in Hamilton. Jared Brinkman is good to go for the game off a toe and shoulder injury, while Nick Anderson and Royce Meche have been ruled out. Down south, Josh Allen and the Bills face the Dolphins. Buffalo 2-0, leading their division, while Miami looks to find their first win of the season. Catch the action alongside Lieutenant Eric down at Selly's Sports Bar and Lounge at Century Casino on Fort Road. Kickoff goes at 6:15. And in the majors, three-time Cy Young Award winner Clayton Kershaw of the Dodgers has announced that he will retire at the end of the season. I'm Zachary Kubish. That was your sports update. The third and final hour of the Reid Wilkins Show starts right now.
All right, appreciate you tuning in this afternoon. Keep clicking that thumbs up button if you're joining us on good old-fashioned YouTube. Give us a like.
Click, click, click. Must you click? Please, please click. Must you click? You must click. Thumb.
You can text us 780-218-9999. That's the afternoon inbox presented by River Cree Resort and Casino, home of Tap 25 Restaurant. $18.99 prime rib special, available 7 days a week from 11:30 in the morning to 11 at night, except on show nights. That is available for dine-in and takeout. You can email reid@edmontonsportstalk.com, jay@edmontonsportstalk.com. Well, should we slip in a limerick or two here?
Oh, yeah.
We got a limerick here from VR Montenegro. Many theories on Connor at the station. What's the cause of signing procrastination? Just PR for Gary? Should the fans be wary? Godzooks, man, blast the horn of speculation. Pretty fun.
This one came in from Bronco Nick. So, Reid Wilkins was the mystery drafter. YTT's Herbert created a bunch of laughter. Tommy is toast, which he wants most. Click, click, click was the winning factor. Well done.
Pretty good. We love getting your limericks. Maybe Limerick of the Year will be a category at the Estes. I think we have to get approval from our coup, Matthew Awan.
Matty, I talked to him today about it.
What did he say?
He said just throw it in. Throw it in as a category.
Oh, wow. He'll just let us do anything we want.
Apparently so.
Connor McDavid taking some questions today. Well, I'll play the clip in case you missed it. One contract question and response.
Yeah, not really much to report. Obviously we think about it, we talk about it, gauge where we're at, what we're feeling. Nothing's really changed as of now, and just excited to be here at camp and get rolling. It's always an exciting time for us and for the rest of the league, and we're excited.
McDavid did something very unique almost a week ago, walking out with Morgan Wallen before his concert at Commonwealth Stadium.
Yeah, definitely different. That was really fun. Really, cool experience to be a part of. What those guys go through, it was fun to see. Fun to be on that side of it. Obviously, I think I'm a big fan of theirs, and it's cool to see it from his side of his point of view and how exciting that is. But understanding that, he's got 65,000 people there trying to watch him do his thing. He's got to entertain a lot of people. It can be stressful, but just the adrenaline walking out was pretty fun.
Some athletes and artists always feel like they want to do the other person's job. Like, oh, that'd be cool. Are you guys like, hey, I'd like to be a musician?
I think if I touched the mic, everyone would have left. So, I have definitely a great appreciation and respect for what they do. I don't wish to trade lives or to do what they do, but definitely cool to see it from their perspective. They had 120 some odd thousand people come see them for 2 days in a city. It's a pretty amazing thing, and pretty cool.
He's rounding off to the higher end there, but the two were pretty big crowds at Commonwealth. Andrew Mangiapane, now an Oiler, a line mate for McDavid today. Here's Connor on the new guy.
Somebody I grew up playing against, honestly. We grew up around the same area. Never played with him, always against him, and he's always been that annoying guy on the other side. So nice to have him on our side. But he's a lot more than that. He's a great player. A guy who scored 35 goals in this league before, and I think that's right, but something around there. He scored goals in this league and can play with an edge, plays fast, wins battles. That's what you're looking for.
Well, and again, they're looking for that annoying guy to play against, which I thought Arvidsson would be, and he never really was. So hopefully Mangiapane can have an element of that. Were there bad words in the background there? It was hard to tell for sure.
Maybe. I think there were.
Yeah, that's okay. And also David Tomasek, to me, the complete wild card. Tom Gazzola has been clear that he's not high on long shot European players. I'm not either. Usually, but you got to give him a chance. He's here. Here's McDavid with some observations on Tomasek.
Big guy. Obviously played lots of pro and played at a high level. You can tell that. You can see that. Great shooter. Every single time he seems to go on a drill, he seems to score. that's a talent that not everyone has. So.
All right, so just some initial thoughts there from McDavid as the on-ice sessions at training camp started today. Let's dive into buying or selling for Damon Bunting, a consistent top-producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area for over 18 years. He and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. Community-driven, he understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. Check him out, DamonBunting.com. Instagram handle, Damon Bunting Real Estate. Well, this is all you, Mr. Milne.
Well,
at least for the topics, anyway.
Well, yeah, I just, I mentioned this off the top that there, the draft happened today, the EST Nerd Draft, which is currently underway. You can vote on Instagram, you can vote on X, over at Yeg Sports Talk on X or Edmonton Sports Talk on Instagram.
Right.
But I just want to address something. Now, you've said you don't care for this side of the draft or this part of the draft, but it is a part of the draft. Okay. And I was sitting there with my wife, had a nice cup of coffee. Because to be honest, I was okay with not being in the draft.
Okay.
A lot of prep goes into it. I like to prep, maybe over prep. So and Quinn one time mentioned it. I do put a lot of pressure on myself for these drafts.
Right.
But I was relaxing at home, watching. It's a great entertaining couple hours.
Sure.
And then I hear out of nowhere, oh, maybe there's been no controversy in this draft because Glue Guy's not in it.
Right.
And I says, pardon?
So what was the guy?
The champ.
The chef? I says, pardon?
I sat up and I said, no, this can't be happening. And then after the draft is over, I get drug into the mud again. And I'm not even there to defend myself. Now, I will say that today's draft went rather smooth.
Okay.
There was no controversy, as there has been in past. But I just want to bring everybody's attention to the fact that I have never been a part of a controversy on these drafts.
What?
What have I done?
Well, you've been part of a controversy.
No, last draft, Tom cheated.
True. Well, yeah, but you were there.
But that's not me.
Oh, okay, sorry.
I'm not the guy cheating. Tom knew there was a gentleman's rule in place that says just don't boost your own, prop your own a team. It's not hard to follow. Because if that was the case, people like Dusty and Tommy and Eric, who have much bigger followings on social media,
right,
would get the vote because people like them. That's just a fact. So Tom cheated, and then that was controversial because Quinn gave him a deduction, and then Dusty traded draft picks for him for a 2% deduction.
Right.
I had nothing to do with that. Now, Eric, God bless him, Eric's walked out of 2 drafts, and the hashtag Justice for LTE was born from that. Once again, I had nothing to do with that, but that was a controversy.
But I think this, and I'm not saying this is true because you're a very kind man. I think there was the suggestion that you perhaps fan Flames, and then to quote something that was drafted in the nerd draft today, then you go, "Did I do that?"
I just look. If there's something that's presented to me, and I could sit across from the fire and watch it burn. Or maybe blow on said fire a bit. Of course I'm going to do that.
Right.
That's part of the shtick. That's part of the joy of the draft, is watching people crumble right in front of you. But to say that I'm the reason that, or me not being there today was the reason the draft went so smoothly, I think is a direct shot. And for the Commissioner Quinn herself to bring it up unprovoked, to suggest that I'm the reason. So that had a lot of issues. That had me, thinking a lot about life. It had me, questioning things I've believed, questioning things I've loved, and saying, is anything real anymore?
Wow.
So buying or selling, Reid? Do you think I am the controversial one in EST drafts? Be honest with me.
I will sell on that. I just think I think the drafts are fun. I'm still getting used to the culture of the intensity surrounding the drafts here at Edmonton Sports Talk. I think they're fun. I do think an incredible amount of hype and feuding gets put into it.
Sure.
I had quite fun today with the nerd draft. I thought the categories were good. I thought there were a lot of great possibilities. I thought that 3 of the 4 teams drafted very well and had a lot of fun with it. And there were some picks that I was like, oh, that's so cool. But I had a lot of fun with it too. I don't think that you cause controversy, but maybe there is a vibe, Jay. Maybe it's just a combination, a mischievous combination. With you and Dustin together, and Tom and Eric, maybe that's what gets it out of hand.
Well, hey, then that's fine. Maybe the best thing to happen to the EST drafts is that I got relegated. Because, hey, guess what else is new? I get to control if and when I want to even put my name in the hat for the pre-draft. You know what, Reid? Based off what I heard today, I'm just saying this. You may not see Glue Guy in an EST draft for quite a while. Not with the slander that was thrown around that room towards somebody that came in relatively new. Well, let's be honest, unknown. Built and propped up the EST draft, held it to a standard. I was holding it to a standard, Reid. Yet, to have the commissioner of all people and former commissioner Matthew Wannick air out their takes live, slandering my name, slandering the Glue Guy trademark, by the way. I don't know.
Have you trademarked the phrase Glue Guy? Is it legally trademarked?
Yes.
By you?
No.
By who?
I don't know.
Well, you should trademark it.
If there's any lawyers out there that would like to help me trademark this, please contact me, jay@edmontonsportstalk.com.
All right.
So that's it. That's what I'll say. I've had my say. I've had my time. I just wanted to get that off my chest. It seems like I've got a lot of support by the EST faithful.
Sure, these drafts are something. These drafts really are something.
Well, Reid, you're welcome. And I hope you enjoy.
Well, it wasn't my first one today.
This is true.
Though apparently I was you last time I did it.
Right. And that one went, like, I've been a part of drafts that controversies have not come out of. I've been a part of that. We've had some very lovely drafts. The only time controversies come up is by people other than me. So stop.
So you're saying you're guilty by association?
Apparently. And as it was said earlier in the chat, Hula Boy Steve says to admit to being an aggravator. It's a competition. I mean, I'm not here to just bend over and accept my fate. Of course I'm going to aggravate. If the opportunity presents itself, I'd be foolish not to. So that's that.
All right.
Buying or selling.
Oh, I get another one.
Are you shocked that the Saskatchewan Roughriders don't already have a tailgate section pregame?
What? They don't?
They do not.
Yes, buying.
They do not.
They don't do tailgate in Saskatchewan?
They're not allowed. Look at this statement that came out.
So if somebody could tailgate in their yard, but there's nothing at the
there's
stadium.
nothing at the footprint of Mosaic
I did
Stadium.
not know. I did not know that.
Craig Reynolds, president and CEO of the Saskatchewan Roughriders. In addition to those many season ticket member benefits, we have been working with the government of Saskatchewan on potential ways to further elevate our game day experience. Next season, we hope to bring you legal tailgating at the Mosaic Stadium footprint for Rider home games. Season ticket members would have first access to tailgating spaces, and if and when we are able to confirm this proposal is going ahead in the coming months.
So the city doesn't allow it?
Sounds like the government does not allow it. Maybe open air, alcohol outside of the stadium.
That is shocking. I never would have guessed that.
Of all places in the CFL.
Yeah, but now I think about it, you never see the shot of the people tailgating outside.
But just think of that. Of all 9 teams in the CFL,
you'd think that
if you were to guess which one had a really rockin',
like you would
tailgate.
You'd think like, hey everybody, the Riders play at 5. What time does the tailgating start? 5 a.m. Yeah, also at 5 a.m. Game at 5, tailgating at 5.
Exactly.
PM for the game, AM for the tailgating. Yeah, I'm very surprised. And I will say this. I mean, this is a rocky era for the Double E. Well, the one thing they've done really well that's really clicked the last few years and is still growing, because that's my path to walk to the stadium, is through that.
Yes.
What was once a parking lot. Well, it still is a parking lot, but all the people that are out there tailgating. And I've noticed some people stay there for the whole game. They don't have tickets for the game. You go out there and they've sat there watching on a little TV or whatever. So that's added vibe there. I mean, we're there with our Edmonton Sports Talk tent, and we didn't. Coob, you do that. Don't we give away like chips and water and stuff?
Yeah, we give away lots of stuff. And everyone's so nice there as well. Like, out of all the teams in the CFL, you think that the Saskatchewan Roughriders would have a tailgate spot. Like, Eric tells me about some of the stories of being down there 4 games. It's probably the most passionate fan base in all the CFL. And to hear that they don't have a tailgate is a missed shot. Like,
how do they get their Pilsner?
Come on.
They need their Pilsner.
There's no other way to get Pilsner.
They need Pilsner to function. It's part of their bloodstream. I don't know. I'm very sorry.
I never would have even thought of that, because I just would have assumed that they have it.
So I would imagine
working on it. Okay.
There's some liquor laws or something that are in place that don't allow for it. That don't allow for you to have liquor outside the stadium.
Okay.
Like, Reid, outside the stadium.
Right. Yeah. I get it.
Outside.
Yes. That's a shocker. Do you have another one?
No.
Oh, I thought you had another one.
Well, we got to do our NFL picks.
Oh yeah. Okay. We're gonna get the die. Coop, can you go get the D20, the D100? We got to get the D100. So this is something we're doing for fun. Well, we do a lot of things for fun on this show. By the way, if you're in the Nazi chat, give us a thumbs up. We are 14 away from 100 likes. So if you've already liked the show, share the link with somebody else and say, hey, check these guys out. They're doing some fun stuff. They're going to do their word of the day, yada, yada, yada. And let's see if we can get to 100. So for fun, Jay and I designed... Well, I don't even know who I'm going to pick. See, this is the thing. There's minimal preparation needed. Minimal preparation needed for this. So that is pretty cool. So we do a very simple fantasy draft. Each week we draft 2 players. Once one of us drafts a player.
Coop, I should have grabbed your sheet. All right.
No, but Coop's not in this one.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Yeah, we don't need Coop. We don't need Coop for this one. No, we do need you, Coop, but the fantasy draft, because if it's the world's simplest fantasy draft, there needs to be a winner, but then the simplest way to do it is there are only 2 people to track stats. So we each will take a quarterback and we each will take a kicker. For the quarterback, you get the stat that is tracked is touchdowns, either thrown for or run for. And then for kickers, it is the total length of made field goals. Okay?
Yes.
So Jay... Oh, I didn't even fill in Mayfield. What did he have? 3 on Monday?
Yes.
Yeah. So Jay's ahead. He has 4 points. I have 9. And then just you get a point or you don't get a point. So we're going to roll the D100, and then whoever gets the higher number picks first and fourth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm rolling the D100. Going to stop it a little bit. It's rolling back. And I have rolled a 64.
Yeah.
Yakupov's original number. Okay. And now Jay will roll. Oh, my goodness.
Exciting.
Uh,
45.
So I pick first.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to take a guy, and then he will no longer be eligible. His season will be done. I'll take Josh Allen from the Buffalo Bills. They're playing tonight.
Good pick.
You already picked him, so I'll take him against Miami on a short week here. So now you can take a quarterback and a kicker in either order.
I'll take Danny Dimes. That's Daniel Jones from the Indianapolis Colts.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I'm going to take also from the Indianapolis Colts.
Who's their kicker now?
Spencer Schrader.
Oh, how do you spell that?
Spencer.
Well, I'll just leave the last name.
Schrader. Schrader.
Okay. I'll take Myers from the Seahawks. Why not? So for the kickers, it's total length of field goals made.
I love it.
So, for example, last week, Jay had Boswell, who had 141 yards made in field goals.
That's a lot.
My kicker, Elliott from the Eagles, bombed 2 long ones and got to 109, but it wasn't enough. So it's not percentage. It's not losing points for a missed field goal. We don't count converts. It's just total yardage of made field goals. So you're going Daniel Jones and Schrader, both from the Colts. Who are the Colts playing?
Titans, Sunday morning, 11 a.m. This is a classic 11 a.m. game.
Okay, and I'm going Myers from the Seahawks and Josh Allen from the Buffalo Bills. As we put a lot of thought into this.
We did.
Yeah, as in, let's figure it out while we're on air. That's why it's the world's
we love it.
Fantasy football draft.
Well, it is the RWS WJM PSL DT GCL in support of the St. Vincent School for Poorly Coordinated Boys.
Yes.
$10 gift card to Dollar Tree, which Coob has put his hand up.
Coob apparently is going to buy us. Coob's going to buy us a gift card.
That's very honorable of you.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not buying it?
Yeah.
Why are you shaking your head?
Well, there might be a conversation that Maddie and I might have to have about EST funding.
You're allowed to walk over there during business hours if that's what you're asking.
Well,
and it is walk. Well, you got to walk carefully across 107th Ave.
That's a sketchy street.
Les in the Nasty chat says, I can't believe the D100 wasn't taken in the nerd draft. So here's the thing. One of the categories in the nerd draft was a nerd accessory. And I took a pocket protector because I thought that was classic and is something that would help me maybe get votes or help my team.
I think that's 1-1 as well as Dusty's pick.
The glasses, the thick glasses with possibly taped up
tape.
But I did have as a possibility, and maybe if someone else had grabbed pocket protector, I would have put this. I had variety of dice. And I know this because if you were to come to my house, you need a D6, I got one. You need a D8, you got one. You need a D10, I got one. You need a percentile die, you got one. I got one. I need a D12, I got one. You need a D20, I got one. And then at work, I have a D100. So I got you covered. So this is the guy that like shows up for Dungeons and Dragons with the little pouch of dice. The drawstring bag full
like a
of
Crown
dice.
Royal bag.
And then the guy hosting's like, oh my God, I forgot I needed like a D10 for this one. Oh, no, hang on, I got one. And he goes in his bag and he pulls
out 50 different dice, different colors.
What color or transparent? Yeah. And he actually has a variety. Okay.
So we have to do our loser pool.
Yeah, I'm taking the Dolphins and the Lions on Sunday night. Yes, the Lions on Monday night. I'm taking the Dolphins. So I'm going prime time. I'm being prime time Wilkie. I'm going Dolphins on the road tonight against the Bills and Lions on the road Monday against the Ravens. I wrote it down on my sheet in the bullpen already.
None of us have lost this yet either. Coob's lost one.
Coob lost one.
Coob, you got to get your picks in after, right?
Yeah, we'll write them on. And here's the thing: if you don't do it today, you just can't pick the Thursday nighter. Obviously.
That's right. Yeah. Cleveland. I'm taking the Cleveland Browns as they have the Packers visiting, and I'm taking the LA Rams, who are going to Philadelphia to play the Eagles.
Yeah, Eagles are good.
They're not bad. Tush push.
Okay. All right. Coob, so we're gonna break. We might be able to get our next guest on video after all. I'm gonna send him off the link, but Coob's got a sports update here first.
Edmonton's Zach Hyman is out until November, according to Oilers head coach Kris Knoblauch. That means Hyman is out at least 12 games as he recovers from a wrist injury suffered against the Stars in the postseason. For the Kings, captain Anze Kopitar will retire after his 20th season in the NHL, with the two-time Cup champ spending his entire career in LA, being drafted 11th overall by the team in 2005. On the field, Nick Anderson, Royce Metche will not play for the Elks this week. Out in Hamilton with Jared Brinkman back in the lineup, coming off a shoulder and toe injury. Tune into the Green and Gold Kickoff Show, which goes live Saturday at 4 right here on EST. In the NFL, the Bills and Dolphins kick off at 6:15. Swing by Sally's Sports Bar and Lounge at Century Casino on Fort Road for the action. Lieutenant Eric will be down there every Monday and Thursday night. In baseball, Clayton Kershaw of the Dodgers will retire at the end of the season. The 37-year-old winning 3 Cy Young Awards in his career. The Reid Wilkins Show continues after the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
The Oil Stream.
That's the really interesting thing to look at this. Okay, what could Savoy do? What could Howard do? What could possibly Tomasek do? You know, could Wallman score 15 from the back end, which would be huge?
That would be.
So that could add up to about 40 goals. McDavid himself could provide a 40-goal swing from last year.
The Oil Stream, presented by Boston Pizza. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday afternoons at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
The leaves are turning, and just like golf season, time is running out to get in on Play Alberta's biggest offer ever. For a limited time only, new players can get up to a $1,000 casino bonus when they sign up. There's never been a better time to join the fun. Visit playalberta.ca today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. Remember, if you gamble, please use your game sense.
It's wing showdown time at the Canadian Brewhouse. Creamy street corn goes head-to-head with Mexican chili lime. Two bold flavors battling for your taste buds. Grab them anytime, or just 69 cents every Wing Wednesday. The Canadian Brewhouse. Our house is your house.
Your home for live music and great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino.
Just wasting gas. Blurring them dotted lines, killing.
Don't miss 3-time CCMA Performer of the Year, Dallas Smith, Unplugged, November 1st at the River Cree Resort and Casino. Get your tickets at rivercreeresort.com. River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement, bet on it.
Need extra space for products, tools, or seasonal stock? Sentinel Storage gives your business flexible storage and the room to grow. Affordable storage that scales with you. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca. Buy Canadian, store Canadian.
All right, hope you're having a great afternoon. It's 5:30 along with Jason Milne. I am Reid Wilkins. We are coming to you from the Banquet Studio. Taco Tuesday just leveled up at the Canadian Brewhouse. All day, $3.49 new tacos and quesadillas. After 4 o'clock, sip on $5.99 margaritas, $2 off Corona tankards, and tequila shots starting at $5.99. Yes, we are in the Canadian Brewhouse Studio. Limerick here from Scalding Gourd. On the air where Reid and Jay sing, a man named VR is the king. It's Montenegro's charm with his wit arm in arm. His limericks are quite a thing. Like, I love that. Like a Nasty's writing limericks about other Nasties. That's pretty amazing. All right.
Touching, really.
It's quite, yeah. I'm overclimped. So, did the lights go off? What just happened? Did it get darker in here?
The sun went away. There's a cloud.
So is that really? Wow. Well, it has been pretty sunny ever since we moved into the studio. Sorry.
Bronco Nick says, my ears perked up, Jay. That was unfair. Need to move on from the commissioner.
Oh,
this comes in library. Pat, justice for glue guy. Jason Stevens says, Dusty had to leave early. Otherwise, there would have been a controversy. He's the instigator.
Oh, maybe.
Deaky Sparks says, glue guy shouldn't have even gotten relegated. If Short Gazzola hadn't have cheated, we would have had a morning show and an afternoon show draft. I still think the draft should expand to 6 teams instead of 4. Less picks, make them more important.
Yeah, maybe. Well, I don't know. We only have 4 chairs in the hangout room. It took Matt a long time to set up that shot. All right. Before we get to our guest here, so we're going to give away 2 tickets to the Edmonton Oil Kings home opener Saturday at 4 against the Red Deer Rebels. You know the Oil Kings do a great job. They're supposed to have a really good team this year. So this will be a fun one to go to. Now, to win the tickets, you must text in the correct answer to 780-218-9999. You must text in the correct answer to 780-218-9999, the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox, and we'll announce the winner. Well, we're going to do an interview here, so we'll announce the winner after the interview. And then what happens is we'll send your email and name off to the Oil Kings, and they'll send you the digital tickets. Who led the 2013/14 Oil Kings in goals in the regular season? They went on to win the Memorial Cup that year. Who led the 2014 Oil Kings in goals scored in the regular season? You don't have to know the number, but you have to know the individual's name. 780-218-9999. All right. Well, you know what is cool, Jay? This is our second year doing the show together. So we're going through some events that we introduced people to last year, and now we get to follow up with them. This is our Alberta Blue Cross Courageous Moment. Running your own small business takes courage, and as it grows, so does your team. That's why Alberta Blue Cross offers health, dental, life, disability, and wellness benefits designed just for small businesses, because we know a healthy team means a thriving business. Visit ab.bluecross.ca to find a plan that is right for you. He is the coach of the Edmonton Steel Wheels Rugby Club. Capital City Showdown coming up this weekend at the St. FX Sports Center. It is Bruce Crosby checking in. Bruce, you're on with Reid and Jay. How are you doing?
How are you guys today?
We're doing very well. Thanks for doing this. Thanks for getting home in time so you can come on video as well for the people joining us on YouTube. First of all, can you just tell us about your connection to wheelchair rugby and the Steel Wheels and how you got involved?
So I've been involved in wheelchair sport since 1993. I started out in London, Ontario. I moved out to Alberta in 2000 when I was introduced to the club here in Edmonton, and I've been involved with them ever since.
Okay, well, incredible stuff. As you probably know, one of my best friends, Chris Zip, is on the team. So if you didn't know a lot about Van Halen before, I'm sure you do now because he talks about Van Halen almost nonstop. But my buddy Zip, he's an incredible story. A little over 9 years ago, he had a horrible bout of meningitis and he's the correct term, bilateral below the knee amputee.
Correct.
So in your role as the coach, I'm just wondering what it's like for you, because there are a lot of heartbreaking stories, but I assume those are also stories of power and redemption in a lot of cases too.
Absolutely. I've found that athletes involved in sport have gave praise to the injury because it changed their life. They've traveled. They're now involved in more things than they ever were as a able-bodied individual. They found the good things in the injury or the happening and are making the best of it.
So in terms of what Steel Wheels does, because I know Zip travels. Like sometimes I'm like, hey man, we going to a movie this weekend? He's like, dude, I'm in Kelowna. I've got to play. What's a calendar year and a travel schedule like for Steel Wheels?
So I actually just did the schedule for this year. Our first tournament was last week in Richmond, BC. We have another tournament, as you know, coming up in Edmonton at the St. Francis Xavier Sports Center. Then in a couple of weeks, we'll be in Red Deer. All in all, with just club practices, club tournaments, there's probably 7 to 8 a year throughout the West Coast and the Prairie provinces.
So is there a province or a portion of the country that's, has a bigger club or that is more competitive or advanced perhaps? Like, and how does Alberta stack up?
So last year we won the national title for a province, so it was a good year for us. So we like to think that we're at the top of the list, but we're always challenged by teams from Quebec, Ontario, BC, the bigger centers where you find more injuries, more athletes able to compete and be classified, but the good thing with our province is that we have good resources for funding, for coaching. We have 3 teams in the province. We're trying to get a 4th right now. So
nice.
We're growing quickly. So yeah.
Okay. So I have seen wheelchair rugby, and I often mention this, not just because of Zip, but when I was doing my practicum in Saskatoon in 1999, the Nationals were there. And I go into this gym not knowing what I was seeing, and I was like, 5 minutes in, I was like, holy crap, I got to come to every game this weekend. But how, you're immersed in it. You're the coach of the Steel Wheels. How do you describe wheelchair rugby to people who haven't seen it? What's your sales pitch, or what do you prepare them for when they walk into the gym?
I tell them, and I tell them every time, it's the only full contact sport for athletes in wheelchairs. The only sport. So, and it just piques their interest, and I get people out watching all the time, checking YouTube videos, and they're shocked to see that athletes that have gone through serious injuries are out there hitting each other at full speed, and then going for a beer afterwards.
Yeah. Well, okay. And then of course, like last year we had an athlete on, and Jay and I, watched videos. It's like, yeah, it's a collision sport. And the athlete can be knocked right out of his or her chair as a result of the collision. Yes. What's legal and what isn't when it comes to some of the collision aspects?
So as far as the collision aspect, you can hit somebody from the middle of the rear caster or the rear wheel to the front of the chair anywhere, but you can't hit from the back. Okay. You cannot, with your hand or arm, touch another player that has the ball. So it's similar to the basketball. You can't reach out and physically touch somebody. You have to do it with your chair. You can reach for the ball as long as you get the ball, but if you hit an arm or a hand, it's a foul. Okay. It's a penalty.
So what about the maintenance? And is there like a pit crew, so to speak, on each sideline? Because I could imagine there's parts flying. Like when I watched that video, I was taken aback. I just could not believe the intensity and the physicality of this sport. But that's got to be hard on the equipment, on the chair. So is there parts abundant on the sideline, or how often do you come across that?
Well, the chairs are made for full contact. After a while, obviously they do take their toll. We have a toolbox full of casters, bolts, ratchet straps, tires, tubes, just in case they go. But as far as trying to repair the actual frame itself, you can't do it while the game's happening. You'd have to take it and get it welded by a welder.
All right. I want to get the lowdown on what's going on, but I got to ask you a question from my buddy Zip.
Sure.
Like if he were an Oiler for wheelchair rugby, which Oiler would you compare him to? Is he like McDavid, or is he more like Janmark?
Janmark, eh?
Yeah, like Zip's not that mean, but maybe when he gets in there, yeah.
I'll tell you, from the first day that Zip got into a chair until this last weekend, his attitude on the court has changed. He's all about hitting. He's all about smashing. Yet he always smiles. Doesn't matter what he does, but he's going to hit you. He's going to hit you hard because he's a big boy, right? So, he's enjoying himself. I'm enjoying having him out there, and he's quickly becoming a big part of our team in our province. So.
Yeah, like he'll sing "When It's Love" by Van Halen as he's knocking you out of your chair. Okay, so the Capital City Showdown at the St. FX Sports Center. Let people know when they can go to check it out, or if there's a schedule online, or all that kind of stuff.
There is a schedule. It's on social media, Wheelchair Sports Alberta. It's on the Edmonton Steel Wheels. You could search for us there. It's at the St. FX Sports Center. I believe it's 9240 163rd Street. Our games start tomorrow at 4:30. There's 3 games tomorrow. Saturday, Sunday, it starts at 8:39 and it goes right till 5. Okay. So there's teams. We got 5 teams here this week. Unfortunately, 1 team had backed out, but we still got 5 really good teams here. So between BC, 3 Alberta teams, and our 4 Alberta teams. So
amazing. Okay. Well, Bruce, thanks for letting everybody know about this. Like we love talking about events like this in Edmonton, and this one's really cool. So thank you for all the work you do with Steel Wheels. All the best at the Capital City Showdown. We'll talk to you again.
Thanks, guys, for having me. You have a great day.
Bruce Crosby checking in, head coach of the Steels Wheels Rugby Club, which he coaches my buddy. So that was cool. That is an amazing sport. Jay, you and I say all the time, we love doing stuff like this. Yes, of course, we talked about the Oilers. We talk about them a lot. We talk about the Elks a lot. We will continue doing so, but we think it's important to showcase events and athletes that sometimes don't get showcased a lot. That's an incredible sport. Quite frankly, it's a damn violent sport.
Yeah, very.
Like, look, people who have been through, spinal injuries or like my buddy Zip, amputations, I think that, there's you naturally have a lot of respect for people that went through that. And then if you see wheelchair rugby and see they went through that and now they're putting they're to some extent their well-being on the line again by playing wheelchair rugby, like it's incredible. But as Bruce said, then you go for a beer with the other team after the game.
Yeah, if you are in the area or if you want something to do this weekend and you want to see something different, take this up. It's over at the St. FX Sports Center. It's very entertaining. Very entertaining.
Yeah, it's amazing. All right, so that was great to have Bruce on the show. The tickets to the Oil Kings home opener are going to Vince. Vince gets them. So the question was, who led the Oil Kings in goal scoring in the 2013-14 regular season? Coob, do you know? Oh, I think Coob heard the answer before.
I do know.
Curtis Lazar had 41.
Dun, da, da, da.
Plays for the Oilers now.
There you go. So I will. I'll get in touch with the people from the Oil Kings. They'll send those tickets over to you, Vince. They'll email them to you. Congrats.
Jay and I coming to you from the Play Alberta studio. Gaming made easy anytime, anywhere. With Play Alberta, you've got a full casino experience right at your fingertips. Play from your phone, tablet, or computer whenever works for you. Download the Play Alberta app today and get started with a $50 casino bonus. Just deposit $50 with promo code EST Casino. Play smart, play local, and remember to use your game sense. And Curtis Lazar will be at the Oil Kings home opener on Saturday. He's dropping the puck. Fantastic stuff. Man, there's so much going on. This is cool. We got to get to one final sports update with the Coop. Chet Palmer's already gone home for the day, and we'll have our words of the day, too.
Zach Hyman has been ruled out for the first month of the regular season. Hyman expected to return for the Oilers November 1st. And out west, next season will be Anze Kopitar's final year in the NHL, with the two-time Cup champ spending his entire career with the Kings. And the Elks released their final injury report before Saturday's game in Hamilton. Jared Brinkman good to go for the contest off a toe and shoulder injury, while Nick Anderson and Royce Metier have been ruled out. And Josh Allen and the Bills face the Dolphins. Catch the game alongside Lieutenant Eric down at Sedley Sports Bar and Lounge at Century Casino on Fort Road, with kickoff at 6:15. In the majors, three-time Cy Young winner Clayton Kershaw of the Dodgers has announced that he will retire at the end of the season. The Reid Wilkins Show wraps up once we get back from break. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you up to date.
EST Afternoons.
Zach Hyman, the target date now is November 1st, but how big of a loss is this to start the season?
It's not good, and no one really knew how long it was going to be. But yeah, I think this does create opportunity, and it's a situation where you know what you have in Zach Hyman, but you're not sure what you have in some of these other guys, the Ike Howard.
EST Afternoons, weekday afternoons 1 to 3, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Your brand deserves more than just a whisper, it deserves a buzz. At the Hive Product Marketing, they specialize in promotional products that bring the buzz. From eye-catching giveaways to unforgettable keepsakes, they got the perfect products to make your brand stand out and get noticed. Visit the Hive Product Marketing and let them create the buzz your business deserves. The Hive Product Marketing, the official merch partner of Edmonton Sports Talk. Visit them online at thehiveproductmarketing.com.
Looking for a winning strategy for your retirement? Contact me, Joaquin Gage at K4 Financial, where expertise meets dedication. I will always look for a careful approach to your retirement, ensuring your financial future is secure. From tailored strategies to clear, actionable advice, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Don't leave your future to chance. Get in touch with me, Joaquin Gage, today at k4financial.ca or email joaquin.gage@k4financial.ca to start planning for a brighter future and a more secure retirement.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki as a ninja fighting off evil samurai.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
Click, click, click. Must you click? Please, please click.
There it is. We need 3. I don't know what happened with the thumbs. They really, like yesterday, they just kept going and we had thumb gravy. Now we're stuck at 97. We need 3 thumbs to get to 100. Let's get it. So we're happy going home today. 780-218-9999 is how you text the afternoon inbox. What did you say?
Maybe they're hitchhiking.
The thumbs are hitchhiking.
They're busy.
The afternoon inbox presented by River Crew Resort and Casino. Happy hour featuring $5.25 drinks. Available Sunday to Thursday, 9 until 7. Okay. Well, should we push the animal? Because what if the animal takes a long time?
Well, then we could push one word.
Okay. We'll do...
what do you think, Coop?
What do you think?
Think we can get it?
We got 5.5 minutes.
I think we got it.
All right, let's do it.
I think you guys got it.
All right, so Coop's going to play an animal noise, and Jason Milne and I have to name the animal. Going to fade that out. I don't know, is that a squirrel or a chipmunk? Or do you think it's a bird? See, they all sound like birds.
Not a chipmunk. Play it again, please.
See, no, I don't think that's a bird. But do you see what I mean? How I almost always initially think bird. I think it's a smaller animal, personally. Can I ask a question related to the size? Is it smaller than Coop the Corgi?
Probably the same size.
Oh, interesting.
Could be. If there's a chunky.
Is it a mammal?
Yes.
Does it have wings?
No.
Right.
Does it eat garbage?
It probably will.
Did it have its own cartoon? Is it a raccoon?
Yes, it's a raccoon.
Oh! You knew what I was thinking. When I said, does it eat garbage? You knew what I was thinking.
I knew it too. It's a trash panda.
Raccoon. Oh, wow. We're doing good.
Good job, boys.
We're doing exceptionally well. Oh, that was quick today. Oh, my goodness. We are lords of the animal kingdom.
Good choice.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Good stuff.
What cartoon?
The raccoons.
The raccoons. We've talked about it.
With Cyril Sneer.
Yes.
Okay, Cyril.
It got our show canceled one day.
That's right. Okay, words of the day. Let's go. We don't need the intro.
Word of the day
we're doing the intro.
with
All right.
Reid and Jay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
I love how we were in lockstep thinking.
Yes. Good.
Yeah, where's the emperor when you need him? Oh, he's blowing up planets. That's what he's doing. Okay.
First word of the day, intelligentsia. Intelligentsia.
Intelligentsia. INTELLIGENTSIA. And this would be a class of highly educated people. Like a social class, not a school class, a social class.
Intellectuals considered as an elite group or class. So you almost nailed the definition.
Right. Oh my God.
Have you come at long last?
I've lost one of my...
I know who you are.
I've lost one of my bookbinder clips. Must have accidentally deleted it. Oh, well. All right. So I did good there. That was very good.
Boy. Oh, boy. I don't know how to pronounce this, but I'm gonna.
Yeah, well, give it a try. Give it a try.
I think it's alliferous, but it could be alliferous.
Are you kidding me?
Yes, I am not kidding. Sadly enough, I think it's alliferous.
Okay, well, I'm just going to go with an obvious spelling then. Aliferous. Alliferous. I got it. Wow, I'm doing well today. 3 points out of 4. 3 points out of 4. Where's the spelling bee drafters when I need them? You get drafted first overall. Alliferous. What does this mean?
Well, I'll tell you what it doesn't mean.
What?
A raccoon is not alliferous. Or does not have alliferous qualities.
This is something with a pleasant or inviting scent.
No, raccoons, I don't know if they smell bad.
Well, I would assume they smell bad. They're rolling around in garbage all day.
They probably lick themselves.
Oscar the Grouch had a
raccoon.
Live-in raccoon partner.
Oh.
I don't know if that's true or not.
I will tell you.
Okay, I don't know what that.
I will say pelicans are alliferous.
Pelicans specifically. Something.
No, birds. All birds have alliferous qualities.
It's
have an alliferous quality.
It's something that has wings. So I get that's maybe I get 0.2. Maybe.
Well, you were 3 out of 4 before we even got to the definition. So I'm going to give you. What number is Mangiapane wearing? 88? No.
I think so. I forgot already.
3.88 out of 4.
That's too high.
That's my rules, baby.
Well,
take him.
Oh, great show. Okay, tomorrow, of course, more on the Oilers, more on the Elks going into Hamilton. Is he lined up? The person you wanted to have on?
Yeah.
Yeah, Brad Myers is going to be on.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and our Past the Pantry Athlete of the Week is tomorrow. Yeah. And more of the fun and joy that you hopefully experienced today. Oh, we're 103 thumbs. Thank you. I can go home happy after also doing well on Word of the Day. On behalf of Zachary Kubish and Jason Milne, I'm Reid. Take care.